Okay. Yeah, I think later I'm gonna need y'all faces on the screen too. This can't be just
rather
me.
than just your face.
Yeah.
Just I don't know.
Just Photoshop it in. Just like one face on each shoulder.
We can do that tracking software thing where they just replace us with anime avatars.
Mm-hmm.
They just do it in VR chat.
We'll do the whole thing in
anime
VR
girls,
chat.
anime girls.
Alright. That'll probably increase viewership.
That'd be a
It's like
great gimmick.
that YouTube channel, the guy who like interviews people about their lives through VR chat, and then there's like really sad stories.
Really?
There's like this Korean dude who talked about he was like a seagull, like the Korean seagull, and then it's a Korean guy talking about how his brother committed suicide, and
oh my,
and there's like nothing he can do about like helping his parents back home because he's in the military right now.
All the while he's like an anime girl?
No, he's a seagull.
Oh, a seagull, okay. I don't know, like it kind of takes the gravitas out of the situation. What do you think? Like
do we have gravitas to begin with?
No, I mean like that VR chat thingy, you know, like he's talking about suicide and whatnot. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like kind of makes serious topics kind of into a joke, don't you think? No?
But no, it's not though.
It's not?
Like
people like resonate with it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Just a little worried, like what with this day and age, you know, kids are like, everything's a meme, you know? Just like, no, it's not, dude. Not if you talk to people face to face.
That kid in John Wick.
John Wick? Okay.
Who laughed at the eyeball stabbing.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I mean, when I was that age, when I was 10, I would have laughed at that shit. I would have thought it was hilarious.
I guess. Like, I saw The Gladiator and I was like, I don't want to see anymore. Man, if you watch The Gladiator now, it's kind of tame, but still, like... Oh, dude, I thought of a movie we can do for next week before we start our podcast. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the original. You guys remember that
original?
Movie?
Like,
of course I do.
Yeah.
I watched that like 10 times.
Really? Do you want to do a podcast? Because, like, I remember watching it and, like, it's... People are really nice in that movie. Like, there's a scene, I don't want to talk too much about it, but, like, Charlie got the golden ticket and he's, like, holding it up in the air. A lady drags him into the crowd. I was like, hey, he's got the golden ticket. And no one stole it from him. They're just like celebrating with him. Dude, I would have, I was thinking, maybe I can just jack the ticket.
If that was real life, people would have like mobbed him and like beaten him up and taken it.
Yeah. They would have taken the ticket and like all the kids are spoiled brats and like they got money, so they're buying lots of candy bars to get the golden tickets. Kind of like, rich people can get their way easier, but then they're all terrible people. And I think it would have been a great movie if all those kids died and Charlie never got into the chocolate factory because he's broke, and he would have never gotten the ticket in the first place. And then that's just
how entertaining of a movie would that have been,
he would live and die as a poor boy working like in a coal mine, and then the rich kids go into the chocolate factory and get murdered by Willy Wonka because he's crazy. See, I think that would make for a better movie. I'm just thinking, you gotta be real.
We can talk about it, but then it's like it's a super political movie.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
We don't have to. I'm just thinking about it, like. Just that scene got me because people are the general perception of people was different back then compared to now. You know, if that scene happened again, just everyone would mob him. Like people would be like, "That's not real," you know. I was just thinking that the entire time. Anyways, let's get into it. Dude, I think we gotta get some musical jingles for our intro and everything. But today,
you could just
dude,
beatbox the intro.
Beatbox? I can't do it. Can it? Isaiah, can you do it?
Absolutely not.
Barry, can you beatbox?
Okay, let's go.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
That's our intro for now. I'll clip that. Dude, we are on episode 6. I can't believe it, but we are on episode 6 of the Badcast, the Pointy Headcast. We gotta work on rebranding. Dude, we are on okay. Sorry, I had to mute that. But episode 6, we're talking about the Matrix, the OG Matrix. Saw this in theaters. I think it came out when I was when did it come out? Let's look up the year real quick.
You know, I don't think I saw this in theaters. I think I saw this on DVD, like at my friend's place. We watched it like 5 times in a row.
Yeah. Okay, 1999. So that was when I was.
So I was 1 year old.
Hey,
child.
Hey, no need to make us feel old, but that's when. Shoot.
I was but a babe.
What a babe. I think I saw the second
child.
one in theaters.
Oh my.
2.
Wasn't that 03?
03 would make more sense. I was a junior in high school.
What surprised me was that both the second and third Matrix movies came out in 03. I was like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That's why they're bad.
Whoa.
The early 2000s were not a great time for cinema.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Alright, so let's get into it. We are talking about The Matrix. We are joined by our hosts. I'm doing it in alphabetical order, obviously. Barry, it's Awesome Factory. I got Isaiah here, Ice4467. And then me, I am Sam, or known as Ducky O'Brien. I find it a little cheesy using handles for a podcast, so it's more like, you know, real names, because we're real people. Or are we?
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, right. Our Barry's anime waifu brought to life.
Just
2D over
an animated body pillow.
Yes, he's an animated body pillow with AI technology powering it. It's the future. Okay, let's get into it. I had to take notes, on the movie, but let's get into it. We're just gonna go over. I think we should go over the first one, and then we'll briefly glance over the second and third ones. Let's get into it, dude. All right, we'll do the thing. Your general take on the movie. What you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, before we get into the nitty-gritty. But before that, any upcoming movies that you guys want to talk about? There's like not really a lot for me.
Upcoming movies?
Yeah.
Toy Story 4?
I know Toy Story 4. Yeah, John Wick.
With John Wick.
Keanu Reeves is like,
Keanu in that?
yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is.
He's like, give
I
my
hope-
character some real emotional depth, because you know I think they cast him as like just a gun toy or something.
I hope he goes on a murders rampage.
Yeah, he kills all the other toys.
John Wick, but in Lego form.
He's just like ripping everyone's heads
I
off.
would watch that movie, Lego John Wick.
Oh, dude.
Would they ever do that? Like an R-rated Lego movie?
No, it would ruin.
That would be amazing.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be R-rated no matter what, because it's not real violence in
You're
any
right.
way. They're just, I mean, they have
This
people
is
getting
true.
like decapitated and stuff in those movies.
His name is
It's like-
Duke Kaboom. That's right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Stunt
I heard
motorcycles.
that's pretty good.
I don't know, man. I really loved that trilogy. I think they were beautiful movies.
You think they're ruining it?
I don't think they're ruining. I don't know. I mean, I do know why they're making another one, but I
It's
don't
money.
think there's just no reason to. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
money. They're just
just
printing money.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Cars 2.
Dude, Cars is terrible. Please don't bring up Cars.
Nobody. Well, I mean, okay, it's not terrible.
I think it's terrible.
It's pretty
But I
bad.
will
It's pretty
say
bad, yeah.
That Cars as a movie was made because somebody wanted to make that movie, right? There's no the first movie.
The first
there was
Cars?
no incentive. Yeah, the first.
Yeah,
Cars.
first Cars. All right.
It's because
I agree.
John Lasseter and a lot of the execs at Pixar just really love cars. They're like massive gearheads. They love racing. They love cars.
Okay, the first one was okay. I'll give you that one.
I mean, it's just like it's not amazing or anything.
It's
but
not,
like,
but it's not terrible.
That movie, right?
Yeah.
And then like I think that movie and all like has made more merchandising than all the other ones combined.
Yeah, you can tell when they go into planes. You know, they're like making you toys to sell.
So much money from the merchandising.
Oh my god! Do you know what a popular item was? Because I used to work for a dude who sold toys online. Was a car's bed frame, like.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, what's this? Lightning McQueen, like a bed frame for like little kids. It looked like a coffin, but like just had him all over on the sides and the front, and that was apparently a really popular item. So I can see why they made it. It's the money. Yeah. That's why it's terrible.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount of merchandising off those properties, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. Toy Story 4.
Hopefully.
I don't know if I'm gonna rush to see it in theaters.
I don't want to.
I probably will rush to see Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh yes.
I'm excited, dude. I hope Jake Gyllenhaal. What?
No, I'm sorry. July 2nd.
July 2nd. All right, that's
July
pretty
2nd.
close.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
By the way,
yeah.
Really quick, Happy Father's Day.
Oh yes, Happy Father's Day. Do you know I'm a
out
terrible
It
son?
already was Father's Day.
Yeah, for you. I completely forgot, even though I was reminded like a week ago. So. Yeah. Hey, to be honest, like, no one cares about Father's Day. I don't know why. It's just like not important.
I mean, I bought my dad like a cake.
Oh, nice.
That we shared.
Oh,
and I got my mom
You're a good
flowers
son.
for Mother's Day.
Yeah, I feel like more people spend money on Mother's Day than Father's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. It's just a thing. I mean,
Yes.
I don't know if that's even necessarily true.
I don't know.
For dad, if you get dad a present, it's going to be something that's probably expensive. Like
You're right, like a TV.
Tools.
Yeah, a car.
Tools.
Motorcycle.
I almost bought my dad a tool set. I was going to get him like a Milwaukee drill set or something.
That would be legit.
That's nice.
None of the Home Depots in my area had it, so I'm like, I don't want to order it.
Fair enough.
And that, my friends, is like $300 up to $600 depending on which set you get.
My goodness, what are you, like? Are you talking about like power tools?
Yeah, like
Milwaukee,
a drill
right.
set.
Okay. Obviously, I should have known when you said Milwaukee, but oh well. My dad doesn't do
What
any.
are you thinking?
I'm just thinking like, my mind like died there for a second, so I went back to like the old metal toolbox with like a wrench in there. Like a lot of wrenches.
They make those as well.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, they have a whole family of tools, but I was talking about power tools, yeah.
Gotcha. Well, Black &
but
Decker,
yeah.
you just cheap out.
Don't cheap out on those guys.
Black & Decker.
The cheap tools,
Yeah.
like I've tried them. They're so bad.
Yeah,
They're awful.
they're really bad.
Like they break right away. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna buy tools and use them, like honestly, don't go Black. If you're gonna get cheap ass power tools, go to like Harbor Freight and get a piece of crap Harbor Freight tool that may or may not work more than once. If that's the route you're gonna go.
Okay.
Or if you want to spend some money on tools that will last, then get like Milwaukee or maybe Makita or even DeWalt. I would say in like a second place. Not that we're sponsored. Hey, Milwaukee, if you want to sponsor a podcast, here we are.
Totally. We'll call it Tool Time.
Tool Time.
Home Improvement? No? Does it ring a bell?
I get it.
What time is it? Tool Time. Howdy ho, neighbor.
Absolutely. I think I like the Milwaukee tools a little bit better personally, but
Gotcha. Hey, when we're looking for sponsors, they'll be our first.
we can reach out to them. I'm
Yeah,
sure
like,
they'd love to sponsor a movie podcast.
exactly. We're a podcast about movies. You wanna sponsor us? They'll be like, why? We'll be like, we use tools to make movies, and they'll be like, sure. We'll give you, I was thinking we could do that. Like, what if we have a podcast, not a podcast, but like a video series dedicated to replicating sets from movies, and we're using like really obvious product placement, and we're slowly drilling something with the brand name of the drill shown to the camera.
Like, it's a good thing we have these wonderful Milwaukee tools to build this set.
Yeah, brought to you by Milwaukee. We're not sponsored, so we should cut that out. We should be like, we're not doing this for free. Send us some mullahs. And they'll be like, no. They'll be like, who are you? It's just like, that's right. You don't know who we are. All right. Yeah, dude. But back to the Spider-Man trailer. I really hope they don't do the thing where Mysterio is a bad guy. Like, just for once, I hope.
Are you still on this, Sam?
I am. Just for once, I hope that he's an actual good guy. Stop doing it. We already know that everyone they introduce is a bad guy. Doc Ock, like all of that. Just one time. I wish they would be good guys. Like, they're good guys, and they stay good guys. Just, why do you have to have a villain every movie? Why not just have two protagonists, Why can't you do that? They're just like helping each other. And it's like, oh, you lost Tony? I'll be like your father figure. And it's like, thanks, Mysterio. No? It's like a father-son film.
It's not gonna happen, Sam. It's just
darn
not gonna
it.
happen.
It's like, you already know it's coming. You already know. Like, since you know who the villains are, you're like, I know that this guy is a 30 double-timed snake. And he's gonna backstab him. And it's like, you can see it already. Like, they're dropping hints along the way, but you already know. I'm just like, what if those hints were all a lie and it's actually a good guy? And the audience would be like, oh, my mind is blown. I didn't see that coming. No? Okay. No. One day, if I ever... Yeah?
I don't think it's gonna be a formulaic. I don't think it's gonna be a straight up bad guy, much the same way that Vulture was not just a straight up like villain in the last movie. But he's definitely not gonna be...
He was just angry at the system.
Yeah, it's just not gonna be a protagonist.
A protagonist. But I want him to be a protagonist, not an antagonist. Okay, fine.
Semi-gonist?
Fine, semi-gonist, exactly. Why not just make him semi? Like, he's troubled and he's dealing with some things right now, but he would love to help people out. Put on some magic shows for them. Hey, you want to invite Mysterio to your birthday party? And then the kids will be like, yay! And he becomes like a hero, kind of like Professor Hulk.
They've already done that bit with Doctor Strange.
Fine.
They've already done that bit.
Fine.
That's
true. Alright. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I think Toy Story 4 is probably the biggest. And then Spider-Man. At least the ones that we're looking forward to, and it doesn't have to be
another Alien movie is coming out.
Another one.
It's the sequel to Prometheus 2 that I didn't see.
I feel like, yeah.
I don't know.
No one cares.
I'm just naming a movie that I'm vaguely interested in.
Okay.
If nothing else,
yeah.
All like Ridley Scott's movies are always visually stunning. At least there's something there for you to look at.
That is true.
I don't know what else is coming out.
If you don't know, it means it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. For me, it's like I see a trailer and I was like, this looks exciting to me, and it's like sticks into my mind. But like, if I see it and then it doesn't stick, then I really don't care. But yeah.
Oh, the Fast and the Furious presents The Rock and Jason Statham.
Really? Okay.
I'm probably gonna see that movie. It's gonna be so dumb.
Like in theaters?
I might.
Okay.
It's so dumb. I can't wait.
That's fine.
It's gonna be a big dumb movie full of big dumb things.
It's yeah. Oh, we got someone in chat. What is up, Cam? We're doing a podcast on the original Matrix. All right. Shall we dive in then?
Let's.
All right. Let's go over I guess general impressions or things that stuck out to you, both good and bad, before we get into the nitty gritty. Isaiah, you want to start us off here? Uh-oh. Did we lose Isaiah? Okay, Barry, you want to start us off? Oh yeah, we lost him. We're having some technical difficulties. Yeah.
Great. I think. I don't know. I think this is probably one of my favorite movies. I think it's fantastic.
Me too,
yeah. I think that some of the performances are a little bit questionable, but it kind of works with the movie, so it's okay.
Yeah, I definitely agree
works with
that.
how the movie's paced and how everything works together, so it works. Like, God, you mentioned earlier that the CGI is not aged that well, but I still think it looks all right.
It does. Yeah. I just think the very ending.
Like there are moments where it's like, yeah.
It's pretty. Yeah.
Overall, it's just like so well constructed, and like, I don't know. I love the pacing. I love how atmospheric it is.
Yeah.
And I love how really clear the vision for the movie is. Like right from the beginning. So yeah, and I think
disconnecting.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. And away it goes. And as far as design and influence, this is probably one of the most influential movies of all time.
Also, we got some.
Like it's up there with like
Citizen Kane.
I don't know.
Right, it's a Citizen. That's what I'm hearing.
Citizen Kane influenced a lot of things, but as far as like design and cinematography, and just like cinematic zeitgeist, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Matrix, so better than Citizen Kane is what I'm hearing. All right, that's gonna be our title.
I mean, these influences that have like visually influenced movies like ever since they came out. Like you see echoes of them like everywhere. And which is great because it's also been influenced by a lot of stuff that came before it. So I think it's absolutely fantastic. I don't think it's flawless, but I think it's pretty close. It's pretty damn close.
All right, neat tidbit from Haha. It said the backgrounds in the roof and subway scenes are 100% computer generated. Yeah, in fact, a lot of those scenes they use green screens, but we'll get into that as well. Isaiah, what about you? I agree with everything Barry said because, like, I think he hit it on the nose. But yeah, anyways, your take on the movie, Isaiah. Here, general overall impressions. What stuck to you, good or bad? Before we get into the nitty gritty. Okay. I think we lost you there for a second.
My Wi-Fi connection is just like keeps disconnecting and like reconnecting and.
Gotcha. All right.
But, my thoughts. Honestly, I feel like the fight scenes don't hold up as much as I thought they would.
Really?
Like
I thought they did hold up. Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed by a lot of the fight choreography.
Okay.
Like I remember it being so much cooler, and there are some scenes like that are extremely well done. Like the subway scene, I think is a very good fight. But a lot of the impacts, like the way, first of all, the fight choreographers and like the stuntmen, stuntwomen on the team are amazing. But I think it's mostly the editing that cuts away from a large part of what makes the film so good.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of the impacts, the hits are not well played out. Everything is cut on impact, so it doesn't seem as if it's as if like the hits hit as hard necessarily.
It's okay. They're computers. They're computers code. That's why I thought I was like, it's okay.
But it's like people get hit and they don't like move or take damage, or like a lot of the kicks. And
Plot
stuff
armor,
are,
plot armor.
they do like
Yeah.
no damage whatsoever. Like a lot of the kicks they do, just from like my taekwondo experience, is just very impractical. Like you wouldn't even stun someone with something that weak.
I see. I still like it though.
Like the moves are meant to be more showy.
Yeah,
and it's more like it's more showy than it is actually practical.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's what the Matrix is, style. Dude, they're wearing sunglasses, dude.
It's a lot of style.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Everyone wears sunglasses.
Dude, how does Morpheus keep his sunglasses on, by the way?
It's
like
the rule of cool, dude.
Yeah, it's rule of cool, man. Like leather.
Well, those are real sunglasses, by the way. All the stuff they wear are.
Wait, how does Morpheus keep his sunglasses?
How do the sunglasses stick on?
Yeah, like, is he super gluing
It's like
it?
a nose. It pinches the bridge of your nose.
Like super hard?
Yeah, I think so. Like,
my goodness.
It's not practical in any way. I remember I looked this up because I thought they were super cool when I was like 10. And they're a real thing. I don't remember the manufacturer or anything, but they're a real thing.
Let me interject here real quick. Whoopty Doo came on and rated us, so thank you, Whoopty.
Oh, nice.
All right, back to Barry. Real sunglasses. I gotta do that, otherwise, I'll wait too long. But yeah.
Oh no, yeah. Thanks for the raid, man. Yeah, they're a real thing. It's not like a CGI or they didn't just make a prop for it. Most of the stuff they use are. Or at least the sunglasses are from manufacturers and stuff like that. I remember vaguely in the 90s that there was like promotions like Matrix sunglasses and all these ads for it and stuff.
I remember like Matrix, the phone being really cool. It's like just pops out.
Man,
Nokia.
I just remember like trench coats and sunglasses were everywhere.
Yes.
For like especially for like in the alternative and punk crowds, like everywhere for like a few years.
That's funny,
dude. Trench coats are always in, man. Trench coats.
And then like it got so saturated with it, and then immediately ruined it.
Yeah. Gotcha. Just putting a side note here. Whoopty was I'll get into it. Whoopty was saying I was lurking in the stream. He was playing No Man's Sky. Interested in getting back into the game, but he made a billboard, just throwing it out there. Back for me though, I think if I think of a movie that like stuck out in my mind that I watched when I was young, there are very few, because first of all, I didn't watch a lot of movies, and second of all, not many movies stuck out to me. So like there's only very few. So like Matrix was definitely one of them. I think I remember watching it and it's just like, this is awesome. That's all I was thinking. I think it's cool. Like if you watch it now again, the stuff that I thought was cool back then ain't so cool now, but I think the movie itself is cool and the way they made it. But that and like Event Horizon, that movie scared the crap out of me. I couldn't even say the title of the movie after a while because I watched it and I was like, oh no, it got to me. Like jump scares and whatnot, it's like whatever, right? It doesn't really scare you, but like the psychological aspect of a well done horror film, it will mess with you forever. And that one, when I watched when I was young, I was like, holy cow, how do you defeat an evil that you can't see and it just infects you, right? And anyway,
where we're going, we don't need
yeah, it's holding eyes. If you watch it again, it's sort of cheesy and not scary, and like this is dumb, but like that idea kind of stuck with me and scared the crap out of me. But yeah, for me, dude, I thought it was awesome. I thought everything about that movie was awesome. I rewatched it and I was just talking about it with Barry a while back, but when I was watching it the first time through, and then my memory of it, it's different. Like I thought it was a fight movie, like an action movie, but when you watch it again, there's no action. There's very little. It's mostly story. Yeah, and the story itself is what interested me. And like when I was watching it earlier today, as you know, right before the podcast, because I forgot it was Father's Day, so we had to celebrate, and then I watched it afterwards. But like the story, the world they created was very interesting to me. It was I think it was a very modern take on sci-fi, dystopian sci-fi. So like where science fiction, not even science fiction, where a lot of leading thinkers are going right now is that we're living in a simulation, right? the ways they try to explain this world and how it works doesn't make sense. So one of the explanations they come up with is that we're in a simulation. So I think this is one of the first movies that kind of put it out there in a way that people could understand. And the story, or the way they progress, it's well written. If I compare this to Suicide Squad, there are scenes where they're speaking to the audience through Neo, but it's well done because Neo doesn't know what's happening, so we don't know what's happening either. So it kind of works, right? They're explaining to Neo.
Yeah, it's very fish out of water.
Yeah, like, and everything is well done. It's kind of like, all right, so it makes sense. They're like, when Neo's out of the goop, they're just redoing his muscles because they've atrophied, and it's like a minute. Less than a minute, I would say, but they're explaining it to you, but it makes sense. There's a reason for them to do it in that world, so it goes hand in hand. And it just feels smooth. The way it's shot too just looks nice for an action film. I wouldn't say for like a movie, but like an action movie. It's shot very well. It's tight. Yeah. It's clean, and I liked it. I liked the story, and then the action scenes. I'm sad that you said I don't like it, but I liked it because it felt like it was a straight up anime or video game. Like, it wasn't real fighting, but it's more like, you know, what you imagine fighting to be, like Dragon Ball Z in the third movie.
Yeah, it was just highly stylistic.
Highly stylistic. I love the crap out of that.
But coming from John Wick, it's like
Yeah, you know that it's aged.
I kind of just like
I mean, but it's like it was different. John Woo, right? And like Hong Kong martial arts ballet, essentially.
Yeah.
No,
that's why I liked it.
The scene where they're in the
subway.
Not in the subway. In the
dojo.
In the basement. Not the basement, like the lobby of that building that they're trying to break
with the guns.
Out of.
Yeah.
That's all like crazy wire work. Them just running, jumping off the walls. But
he literally does
crazy. Like, that scene is a miracle, by the way, because they only had the budget to shoot it like once.
Holy cow! Yeah.
They had like one take, and like one extended take.
Wait,
basically, with
was that
cuts.
done with the slow-mo cameras as well, or was that with the motion camera?
Yeah.
With the slow-mo cameras, right?
Some shots are slow-mo, intercut between actual full-speed shots. Yeah, but the concept and the invention of bullet time, though, that's where I give major props to this film.
Exactly, we'll get into that as well. But that's right. I digress. But yeah, I like the movie. I think it still holds up. I think even including number 2 and 3, The Matrix as a whole, I think still stands up. It's just, I think plot-wise, it kind of loses it for me. I don't think it's a terrible plot, but it's just not where I wanted it to go. But we'll get into that as well. All right, let's get into it then. The nitty-gritty, I think it'll work best if you go in the order of the scenes chronologically, unless you guys want to take it different. But for now, let's get into it.
I'm sure I'll be skipping around quite a bit, but sure.
All right. So, like, it starts off with him, Neo, dude, young Keanu Reeves, man. It kind of threw me off a little bit. Everyone's so young. And
it actually starts out with Trinity.
Trinity. She's just beating the crap out of them. It's like, your men are already dead. You know, it's like, what can one girl do? Yeah, your men are already dead. And then she beats the crap out of him. And then she goes into the phone booth, and I like how it doesn't treat the audience as stupid, but like, oh look, she's gonna call, and she's gonna get sucked back into the real world. No, it's just like Agent Smith drives a car into it, and she's not there anymore. So it's like, oh, did she die? But where did she go then? It kind of leaves the audience a little like thinking, a little hanging there. Also, dude, I forgot the actor's name, but Agent Smith, dude, I loved his performance in this movie. Like,
Red Skull.
Yeah, he's amazing. Like Red Skull. Dude, Red Skull is such a waste, but like he slowly goes from like this stereotypical lifeless AI into, he's going rogue. Like, he's developing emotion, most specifically hatred for humans, but like he has an emotion, and like you see hints of it. He does things a little differently, like here and there. It's like dropped. I really like that. And then it goes into the work scene where it's just like on a computer, and I love this where he's, like a DOS terminal, and it's saying "Wake up, Neo," blah blah blah, and he hits Control X. Like, right? Why? And then he pushes escape twice, like really slowly. And I was like, he's supposed to be this awesome hacker dude, and it's just like hitting the keyboard control for cut, and then pushing escape. Okay, escape would work, but like,
I was like, where's the Control Alt Delete?
I mean, it's command prompt, but yeah, what is he doing? It's like so slow, and then I love like.
Control X works sometimes.
Sometimes, all right. I'll keep it to him. I'll keep it to him.
You're,
you're right. Who wasn't in a Windows environment? And I love how these guys come in to buy some kind of code from him, a program, and he pulls out like a mini disc. It's not even a floppy, but it's a mini disc.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, so good. And they hands it to them.
You realize too in the book that he pulls out, it literally in that chapter. Where he's hidden it, it's on the concept. It's like on nihilism. That's the title.
Nihilism.
Yeah, like
and I was like, oh,
there's foreshadowing everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like the more times you rewatch this movie, the more little details like that you notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
how Neo's suit doesn't quite fit.
Okay, I didn't notice that one.
It's like a cheap, like a crappy suit jacket that doesn't quite fit him.
Yeah, and it's really awkward.
Like it looks fit, but then it just looks deliberately a little bit awkward.
That's funny. Is that on purpose?
Yeah, it's absolutely on purpose, and it has some. I believe it has some design callbacks to Agent Smith's suit as well. They're supposed to be very similar.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, also Trinity, dude. Like, I didn't notice it, but I didn't think she was good looking until I rewatched it again today, and I was like, "That's a good looking lady." Carrie-Anne Moss.
Before this,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think she has maybe a couple other acting roles, but
I did not know that.
This was her first. This was like her breakout role, I think.
She was in Memento, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was the.
Yeah, I think
she was the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before, like, I couldn't see it, but now I do. Like, she's wearing tight leather pants too. I'm like, I can see why they did it. But yeah, let's see here. Going in. Oh, let's skip ahead. Let's skip ahead towards the end. So I want to talk about something.
Oh, Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving. Yes, Hugo Weaving is his name. Carrie-Anne Moss.
Hugo Weaving is so good.
He's so good. Like, he should be. If you cast any character and you put Hugo Weaving in there, I'll be like, heck yeah. Gary Oldman would be like another guy. Like, you know, they don't have to be perfect, but they would know how to play the role, in my opinion.
And they would do a solid job.
They would do a solid job, yeah. Let's see. So, like, one thing that I felt was a little out of place, speaking of Trinity, because we're talking about Trinity, is a scene where Neo gets shot and he's dead. He's flatlined. And then Carrie-Anne is like, oh, the Oracle told me that the man I loved would be the one. It's like, I love you, Neo. And it just kisses him, right? I thought it was a little... It seemed a little... Ham-fisted. Yeah, ham-fisted or forced. Like, I didn't resonate with that scene because I was like...
Yeah,
where did this come from? Like, they drop hints in there where, like, oh, Trinity might like Neo.
Chemistry. It's because their chemistry on the screen isn't that great.
It's not.
That's like one of my complaints.
Yeah.
About this movie, the romance isn't quite there. It's mostly because the performances are a little bit monotone, you know.
Keanu tone.
I mean, it's like all deliberate choice, but it's also like it works with how the movie is themed and like the atmosphere. But then like the romance, when you try to put that in there, it's like
it's like
not quite. It's still okay. It's
still
fine.
okay. It's still okay. It just didn't jive with the rest of the movie. I thought it felt a little forced in there, and like it kind of broke the flow of the movie for me. Because
I mean, at least they set it up.
They did. They did. They did. They totally hinted that Trinity likes Keanu and like
and like the Oracle.
The Oracle, like they mentioned it a lot. Like they build up to it. It didn't come out of nowhere. Kind of like
Kind of like,
yeah.
this is my family.
This is my family, like a Suicide Squad. I'm like, what? There's no. Anyway, say we can't badmouth Keanu unless we'll get crucified. It's true.
God.
Keanu is untouchable. He's reached meme
Will Smith
status.
in that scene should have been like, I do not consent to this.
Yeah. It should have been like, did you sign your consent form? That's harassment, Carrie Ann Moss. What are you doing? He's unconscious. That's where we got into. But yeah, all right. I'm glad you guys thought that too, because I was like, man, it felt awkward, honestly. But back to Keanu's acting skills. We're not bad mouthing him. To me, when I saw him act in this movie, I was like, oh, he does have some range, like a little bit. You know? Yeah. I wish they would show that more often. They kind of turn him into a meme where it's like, oh, they can't act, so let's have him kill stuff. But when I was watching it, I'm gonna go into the office scene now. Yeah, another side note. Keanu is in a game called Cyberpunk 2077, and that got me hyped for the game. That's the power of Keanu. Anyways, back to the office scene. I think this scene is iconic as well. I think it was
so good.
Yeah, it's so good. It's parodied a lot too, where he gets the phone call in the office and Morpheus is telling him what to do, and it's like he's like weaving through the cubicles, and it's hilarious because Keanu is really tall, so he looks like he's. When he's trying to hunch over, he's like at the height of the cubicles. If you want, yeah, he's freaking tall, and like goes in, and I really liked it because he goes outside the window, and Morpheus is telling him, "You got two ways out. You can take that the window cleaning dude's little thingamabob and get him out of there, or go in custody." And like he goes out, and you think he's gonna make it, and he chickens out because he's a chicken. Like, he's a coward. And I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Like, if it was like a traditional protagonist or protagonist, very put it, he would have just been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get over my fear, climb up this skyscraper, and something else is gonna happen. Instead, he just goes to jail. But anyways, just interject here anytime you want to add in something. But yeah, that office scene is iconic. I think it's been parodied. I obviously a lot more when the Matrix just came out. But yeah, there's like a lot of parodies where someone gets a phone call and they have to do exactly what they say. And it goes into the interrogation scene. I completely forgot about this one.
How could you forget about?
No, I forgot how scary it was. Yeah, how can you speak if you have no mouth? And then his mouth closes up, and then they put in the squid into his belly button. And this scene is still creepy. Like,
it's freaky.
It's freaky, dude. Like, I wish they kind of stuck with this vibe and threw in more like terror bits, because this is. How do you fight it? Like, you're in a system that they can do anything to you, and you can't really do anything about it. And I like how everything looks like a tentacle creature. Like the little bug turns into a mini tentacle creature and just crawls in. Just like his tail is like flailing out of his belly button as he's crawling in. You're just like, oh.
Just like the Sentinels.
Just like the Sentinels. I feel like, yeah, the squids. Like, I feel like that CG is really good. I think it's still held up.
Yeah, I think that's still. For sure. Yeah,
I think the resolution or detail or something is a little, if you like really look into it, it's a bit lower than recent films, but I think they look pretty real for me. Anyways, after that,
I mean, this is all rendered on like a 900 megahertz Pentium 2 processor, guys.
It look good. All right, all the CGI look good.
Like a TI-83 powered computer. Speaking
of that, like TI-83. So I don't know if this was the same with you guys, but back in high school, we had TI-86s, and we were learning how to program on that. And the first thing that we did was we made the binary stream in the Matrix. I mean, they had like Japanese characters in there, I think. Yeah. But yeah, we did that. We just had a screensaver, would hit it, and we're like, oh, look at this. Isn't this cool? It's from the Matrix. And people were like, heck yeah, that's cool. How do you do that? And then people got into programming calculators just because of the Matrix.
Do you know what that is, though? The binary? Like what they use for the code?
It looked like... It looks sort of like Japanese, but I don't think it was Japanese.
Yeah, it's Japanese.
It's Japanese?
A Japanese lunch menu order.
Japanese what?
Lunch menu order.
Oh,
It was
really?
like they took a Japanese lunch menu and then they
Really?
used that literally as the text for the Matrix.
So it says like tonkatsu or like sushi on it.
It's like tonkatsu, shoryu ramen. It's like,
Ultimate weeb, dude. Ultimate weeb.
it just ties more back into the anime roots, right?
I didn't know that. That's awesome. All right. Neat fact.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes into the car scene, and then they pull out this like retro tech. It looks like super high tech, but also really ghetto. And they shoot the bug out of him, and then
they tase the bug out of him.
Yeah, they tase the bug out, and it's like, oh, that thing was real. And then they go into the stairway, into another iconic scene. So it's iconic scene after iconic. The office scene, the can you talk when you have no mouth scene, and then the pill scene where Morpheus is like, take the red pill or the blue pill, right? Blue pill, you wake up. Red pill, you follow me. You stay in Wonderland and see how deep the rabbit hole goes. Like most of these quotes in the movie.
Talking about like movie iconography. That shot of Morpheus holding out the blue and red pill.
The reflections, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like that's in cinema forever now, right?
That too.
It's just so well done.
It's so well done. You're right. And also like how Morpheus' sunglasses, dude. I think we should all get and wear it.
I think they're extremely expensive, Sam.
Yeah, I mean when we get that sponsorship, hey, why don't we get sponsored by the sunglass company? Like, send us 3 pairs, and we'll wear it during our podcast.
Because podcasting is such a visual medium.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I like Keanu's acting here because he's sitting forward, like he's anticipating what Morpheus is telling him. Like there's some anticipation, or like he's looking forward to him telling him what he wanted to know, and like a little bit of acting with body language. I appreciated that. He wasn't just there. I'm just saying Keanu can act. Right?
Yeah, he can act. He's just like, most people don't really hire him for like his dramatic range.
Yeah.
They hire him for Keanu.
We just poke fun at him every once in a while, so I'm just saying that to kind of reiterate the fact that he can act. So one other thing that got me, the pills are huge. Have you seen how big those pills are?
Yeah, it's like those look uncomfortably big. To drink. Can I take this as a suppository?
Yeah. What? It'd be funny if Neo asked that, and he asked, like, Morpheus is like shoving it up his butt, and it's like, all right, you gotta wait 2 hours now for it to dissolve. And it's like, all right.
Just sitting around.
Yeah, just sit around. That's why you got comfortable chairs. Oh, that would be. You know what? Let me write that down. That's a hilarious parody idea, dude. That's genius. Pill scene.
Like the butt chugging thing where you pour the alcohol
into your butt. Yeah, gets absorbed into the bloodstream.
Man, I just love the look of everything in this movie. Everything is so grungy and dirty.
So green.
It's green.
Everything is color graded so green.
It's green. Everything's green.
Until they transition into the world, and then everything's color graded gray. It's wonderful. I also need to talk for a minute about how incredibly awesome Morpheus is, like, crocodile skin, double-breasted trench coat here is.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Dude, Morpheus is like a level above everyone else. Sunglasses with no, what the side things are, arms, legs. What are they called?
Arms.
I don't know. What do you call them? What do you call it? Like a body part? Frames? Sides?
I don't know. Like
things that go into the side of your head, onto the side of your head, and behind your ear. That thing. Yeah, he doesn't have that because he's cool. Everyone else has it, but except for Morpheus. I bet he asked for it. It's like, hey, can I have sunglasses without anything on the sides? With no legs?
It's like Mace Windu when he asked. He's like,
purple lightsaber?
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those. I want to be different.
If we're talking about Mace Windu, I like how they hired one of the most like crazy actors to play a lifeless character. You should have hired Morgan Freeman for that. You know, like just some suave, some class. You should have had Mace Windu be like this super outspoken dude. You should have like mentioned snakes on a plane somewhere. Was that before or after? That's after, right? Darn it, that wouldn't work. But you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Also, that reminds me, Shaft is coming out, and I kind of want to see that. A new Shaft. It has old Shaft. It has Samuel L. Jackson Shaft, and then they have the baby Shaft. So 3 Shafts in one movie. Should be good. Black Dynamite. My dad's name. My dad's name is
Black Dynamite.
I'm too. It's like, move along, children. That movie's hilarious. Yeah, the pills are huge, and then they go into a scene where he comes out of the pot.
His hands, like, have you washed your hands, bro?
Yeah.
Can I get a different pill?
Can I? Yeah. Also, why
just take it out of the tin instead of, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they have to do it for the movie, you know. It's like. Also, why are they different colors?
Make it more cinematic.
Exactly. Why couldn't they be like the same color, but he just knows which one it is because it represents code, right? It's a tracer. It'd be funny because then
like how they're using like just like lighting panels like from a set.
Oh, are they? I missed that.
Yeah, these are like just straight up like the lighting panels they would use on set. For, like little LED ones.
That's maybe they're kind of running low on the budget because I felt like the tentacle creatures took up a lot of it.
Oh no, you gotta save as much money as you. A lot of this stuff is just straight up like AVR equipment that they would have around set.
It works. It goes into the party, yeah.
Like this whole idea of like the imagery and the mirrors. Like everything's a mirror. Like his glasses are a mirror.
Yeah.
When he touches the mirror, like the mirror starts like taking him over.
Yep.
Trying to kill him.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit confused by that, but you know,
it looks cool.
It's Into the Looking Glass,
yeah.
right? There are 2 main allegories in this.
Yeah.
Well, the first being like the religious allegory, and the second one being Alice in Wonderland, or like Into the Looking Glass.
Yes, in case you guys didn't know, Neo is basically Cyberpunk Jesus in this movie.
Not basically, that's literally what he is.
No, he is literally
Cyberpunk. He literally dies, comes back. In the 3rd movie, when he dies again, he's carried out in like a cross, on like a robot cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like smacking you in the face with iconography.
Yeah.
Like, do you get it?
Do you get it?
Get it? Just
Neo is Jesus.
Do you understand?
Yes.
But somehow it's still better than Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it is. It is. It still is.
It's still more subtle than Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it's still more subtle.
Subtlety.
Yeah.
More restrained.
Yeah. But I thought it was pretty cool because I thought that was like, you know, kind of a metaphor for like what is reality? Like what is the concept of reality? Because you consider mirrors to be showing you what is reality, but
yeah, they go.
What if that isn't reality?
Like what is real? You know, Morpheus asked that. I really like this, and I feel like it's, you know, like how Muse is like anti everything, you know, anti government, anti whatever. There's just like, you know, very angsty. This movie, the entire undertone, Morpheus especially, I liked how instead of his main point being you got to get out of the Matrix because they're using humans as batteries, it's more like this entire point. This is why I'm sad with the 3rd movie. He's like, the first thing he says is humans are slaves. They're slaves of the machines, right? So his entire message is freedom. He says it again later, like, it's basically freedom, right? And then the 3rd movie ends with him just barely saving the people in Zion instead of freeing the rest of the humans. That's why I was a little disappointed. But anyways, I like that Morpheus is a man of the people. He really wants freedom for mankind. And I think that's kind of like the movie, kind of a little bit ham-fistedly saying, don't be a slave to the system. You know? Yeah. Wake up. They use Rage Against the Machine, and it literally says "wake up" at the end, right?
And the first words are "wake up, Neo."
Yeah, wake up, right? Neo. It's everything. Yeah. I think Barry said it first, like how everything in the movie is like consistent, and like they specifically chose all of these. I think lines of dialogue, the scenes, the way they shot it, everything kind of flows together. You can see that they have like a purpose and a world that they plan in their minds, and it came out the way they wanted it to. I felt like.
Well, actually, a big plot element that they were forced to change by the higher ups was the part of everyone was being used as batteries.
Oh, really?
Because, originally, the original script is that, because it kind of doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Because, like, why would they use humans as batteries?
It's thermodynamically inefficient.
It is. It is. I'm gonna go over that later. I'm gonna go over. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more difficult to keep the humans alive than to generate power from them, right?
Yeah.
But the directors were like, they said, we want to make humans be used as processors for their brain power. And we'll essentially run them through a simulation, and then we'll use them for their brain power, and use them as computers, essentially. And that was the original idea.
That would have been better.
Yeah, but the higher ups were like, this idea is too confusing. Like, you have to scrap it. So they were forced to get rid of that, and that's why humans became batteries.
All right, let's just go into that right now. All right, it's stupid because they're like, okay, they give the numbers themselves. They shouldn't have done that. 120-volt battery and 25,000 BTUs of heat. Now, if you calculate the number of humans alive, just do a generous estimate, and then you get the number of, the wattage provided for by these human batteries. It's really small. In fact, they said these AI robots have a fusion reactor, right? The fusion reactor has to generate enough power to keep the humans alive and power everything else the robots do, and that itself is more efficient than actually having human batteries. Like, if they just got rid of humans and just had a fusion reactor, it would have been better.
Yeah, if they just knocked out the sun, wouldn't the next logical solution just be to go nuclear?
Yeah,
just generate
they mentioned
power,
it too, and I was just like, I remember because a physics teacher was a huge nerd, and he did the math for us, and it was like, this is the stupidest idea I've ever heard of for generating power.
Yeah,
the most backwards, like inefficient design that doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I think you would make more power like burning human bodies.
Yeah.
As like combustible fuel.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Their bodies as fuel properly.
Yeah.
Also, I really liked how there was like a baby, and like the baby is kind of like hooked up too, and I was like, oh, that kind of looks wrong, but it's kind of cool. Cyber battery baby. No.
Yeah.
No.
See, I think this is, as irritating as it is, it's very minor.
Yeah, it's minor. It's minor.
As a plot contrivance, and the only reason it especially bothers us, Sam, is because we went through 4 years of computer engineering.
Yeah. Everything in us is like, this is wrong.
It's like, that's not how it works.
It's not how it works. Why would you do this? This is inefficient. It's like
thermodynamics.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny though. I made the joke. I think the matrices, like Barry mentioned that. I was like, all right, let's make this a podcast on linear algebra. you need to use linear algebra because it makes life easier. But we won't do that.
But obviously not for the robots.
Yeah, not for the robots. Yeah, they're dumb. They deserve to lose. Why would you do this? Yeah,
I think the humans are dumb. Why would blocking out the sky suddenly kill all the robots?
Yeah, this robots are smarter than them. This make you should have
I don't understand.
Yeah, you're killing yourself because how do you grow food without the sun?
Yeah, how do you grow food? How do people survive in Zion? Like, real question.
Hydroponics? They just grow weed? So indoor lighting, they have a fusion reactor too?
I guess.
Yeah,
no, that's doable.
Yeah, but not for like all the people on
vertical farm.
Yeah,
in order to grow for
huge hydroponics farm. So I think they're stupid.
I don't know. I think they grow algae or something like that.
They grow algae? Oh, that's right. They have goop.
Yeah, they eat the protein goop.
The goop.
You need to have the cockroaches.
The cockroaches, yeah. Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer.
Yeah. Also, another interesting tidbit later when they're going through the sewers, they drop it in there. The sewers are apparently the only thing that exists from the cities, because everything else was destroyed. So that's what they're traveling in. I like how they build this world. They thought of a lot of details for this movie. Going back on the muscle building scene, I think is also iconic. They surgically remove the parts. They don't have like a title screen or like a character there saying, "Oh, we must do this and this." They do have that for Morpheus, where they just just drop it in there. But I thought that was awesome because they pulled him out of a pod. He's never seen light before, anything before. His muscles have atrophied. I mean, they weren't built from the get-go. He was just there his entire life, and like, they gotta remove the parts, except for some of the arm tubes and everything. So I thought that was awesome how they kind of dived into this world, and they have a logical process if someone was taken out of a pod. Right, I thought that was kind of neat for me.
Yeah. They take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Really getting to the nitty gritty of some of the, just some of the stuff that otherwise would be glossed over. It's pretty good.
Also, we got Cam.
I just want to take a moment to say I love the look of the Nebuchadnezzar.
Me too, yeah.
Again, it's just like this great set design. It's so grimy and crappy, and it looks like a discarded submarine.
It's like everything's held together by duct tape.
It's like shitty welds and duct tape and like all this crap.
And everyone wearing trash.
Everyone's
wearing garbage clothes. Like the costume design's amazing.
Okay, we got Cam dropping in on chat. He's saying that he likes Snowpiercer. He didn't like the ending or the concept. I thought the
Snowpiercer or the Matrix?
Snowpiercer. He also said The Last Jedi was a terrible movie. I'm kidding. He didn't say that. I'm just throwing it in there.
Well, he would join you in being wrong then.
I'm kidding. This is our inside joke.
Save it for the Christmas special.
Right, Christmas special, alright. I also like how Morpheus is talking and he's like...
They have some great shots in this.
There is.
Like where he's explaining to... I'm watching through the movie as we're talking about it again, but like where he's explaining to Neo about like the modern world, like they do this incredible like
oh yes,
the TV.
Yeah, the TV shot is great, and then like this top down like crane in when they swap to the real world or whatever.
Yeah.
The transitions are really sharp in the editing for it.
Yeah, it's very well done.
Yeah, that's why I said I thought the shots were awesome for an action movie. You can't use it for like a regular movie, but it works for this.
It's probably like a digital compositing shot because immediately afterwards they're just clearly on like some soundstage, but like it's fine.
Yeah. It's fine. It works.
They sell you on it. That's all you need.
And like you can like break it down, and you can be like, oh, this looks like whatever, but like I think everything looks great except for the ending where Agent Smith blows up. That one, that was the worst. The final scene. I felt like they should have just made him collapse, like disappear just fall to the ground, and then Neo just stands up. They should have made it like that instead of him exploding into code chunks. Look really fake. But yeah, I like how
the other two agents just like start running.
Yeah, they just look at each other and then they run. They're like, "Oh shoot, we can't fight this."
It's like we out.
Yeah, we out. I like it's just going off of those scenes. Like I like how the three of them are interrogating Morpheus, and then sprinklers go off, and they're just drenched in water. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah, there's just like every scene with all of the agents, like they take a lot of care to like give them very precise cues. They're all acting in tandem. It's just this little
when they all like get out of the car at the beginning of the movie when they're gonna go to Trinity, and then they all slam the car doors at the same time.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's like really little details like that. Yeah.
Someone else dropping in by chat real quick, Mr. FMM. What is up, dude? All right, back to you, Barry.
Yeah, and I believe Smith is the only one that ever takes off his sunglasses.
Yeah, because he's
I think so, yeah.
And he does it
he's
more
evolving.
and more as the movie goes on.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's a little like they drop in signs that he's not normal.
Yeah,
It's
like
different.
because the eyes are like the clearest indicator of it's like what sells you on a person being
A human?
emotive, you know?
Okay.
Like most of your emotions are displayed like around your eye region, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, you know, he takes off the sunglasses so you can see more of the range of emotion, and he's showing more humanity. And especially like that interrogation scene later on where like
That's so
he
good.
makes the other agents leave and he takes off his sunglasses.
I like that scene too because at the end they come in and they're like, "What are you doing?" like,
what were you doing?
Yeah, what were you? They're just like almost like like, what were you doing? Anyways,
God, I love that scene is especially memorable because it's like so gross. Because like, Lawrence Fishburne is just like sweating everywhere, and like Hugo Weaving is just like grabbing his like sweaty
head, just like shoving the sweat up his nose too.
He's like, I was like, oh man, this is great.
This scene was so good because like the payoff is huge. You know that Agent Smith is evolving out of a normal like program. Like he's turning into something else. He displays a deep hatred for mankind. And the scene where he describes humans as a virus, I was like, oh. I mean, it's common like tropes everywhere, but like he goes at it. He's like, you're the only mammal. I can't count you as a mammal because you're the only like species that goes and like just takes up everything, and then you have to move to a different area. And it's like the only thing that you can be described as is a virus, a cancer upon the earth, and we are the cure. I was like, whoa. This guy hates humans.
It's a very good line.
It's a very good line. All right. Sorry, I gotta break it real quick. What is up, MFM? We're doing fine. How are you doing? It's a little awkward to do that in a podcast, but yeah. Yeah? Back to the podcast. What is up? Alright, going back in to the scene. Muscle building scene, surgically remove parts, and then the training scene in the construct. And before that, I forgot to mention that Morpheus doesn't take minds after they reach a certain age because they can't transition. They can't fully accept that that's not the real world.
Much like the Wachowskis transition.
Okay. Oh, good one, Barry. But yeah, I like how there's like even the characters understand the rules of the world and how they work, and they respect it. I like that. Unlike Suicide Squad, which doesn't. Suicide Squad displays its own rules and then doesn't accept them because they're stupid. We need a giant binder that says you are bad on it. Just like zoom into it.
Like, I don't know, this part of the movie is where it kind of highlights one of the weaknesses, is that there's like just a lot of exposition dumps. There's a lot of them.
There are. But I like them.
They just sit. I like it because it's like it's just atmospheric, and like they take time. It's very, very sci-fi, very cyberpunk. And I can really appreciate like this slow pace of the thing.
It's very slow.
Like, I can understand how it could be very boring.
Me too.
And it's just like, I don't know, they just sit down and just talk about what's happening for a very long time. But it's fun.
They do, it's fun. I also think it's well done, even though it's an exposition dump. Like I said, it kind of works better than normal because Neo doesn't know anything too, so it kind of makes sense for them to be explaining it to Neo.
Yeah, it works well.
It works well.
He's the audience insert.
He is. Better than generic soldier guy, Rick Flag, right?
Better than Rick Flag, and
better than Rick Flag.
He's not pointing out how stupid everything is.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. They mention Zion, Underground City, and then they do the training scene. We'll go back into the construct, but like where he's downloading all the martial arts. an iconic scene where he just looks at the camera and says, "Whoa, I know kung fu." Yeah.
I know kung fu.
I know kung fu. Show me.
God, there's so many moments like that in this movie. They'll just live. They will live on forever.
Exactly. And I actually like that scene with the Morpheus and Neo fighting, because it looks good.
It's wire fu.
It's wire fu. I love wire fu.
Like, man, I don't know. Like, they do a lot cinematically too. Whenever they're not in the Matrix, the lighting becomes warmer.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
They color grade, especially in the construct. They color grade everything very differently.
Yeah.
There's a lot more color saturation. There's just little things like this that sell you on it.
I noticed the green the most. When everything was green, I was like, I get it. I get
There's a little bit of it in the real world as well.
Oh, really?
The construct is actually much more true to color and much like warmer overall than even the real world.
Oh, that reminds me, another iconic scene where they're walking in the construct, and then it's like, were you looking at me, or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? And he turns around as Agent Smith.
Yeah.
And then later the dude is trying to pimp the girl to him. It's like, hey, if you want to spend more personal time with her, let me know. Digital pimp. Right? I thought that was kind of funny. And like the guy is like looking at the poster of the girl in the red dress, and then he dies. Because he's a throwaway character. I don't know, I was just thinking about it, and I was like, man, that sounds kind of okay, like a digital waifu. Isn't that what you dream of? Everyone? Like anime waifu? Just saying, I think most people will be okay with an anime waifu, but she's actually real, quote unquote real, but we're all not real because we're in the Matrix. Is it just me? I guess it's just me.
Just you, Sam.
Alright. I'm just saying.
I also love in the scene when they're fighting.
Yeah.
And they're fighting kung fu styles within the dojo. He's like, oh, do you think that's air you're breathing? He's like, whoa.
Yeah. Oh, mine's blowing. And it's like, oh, are you saying I can dodge bullets? It's like, I'm just saying, when you're ready, you won't have to. I was like, oh. Like every line of dialogue, it's just you can code it. And there's always like a parody. It's so good, yeah.
So many parodies.
There's so many parodies. The goop scene where like getting it from a tube on top of the ceiling. And it's like, and the guy's talking about like, how do robots know what
chicken tastes like?
Chicken tastes like. So maybe that's why chicken tastes like everything. I was like, that explains it. You want proof we're in the Matrix? Chicken tastes like everything. There we go. That's how you know. I'm
pretty sure the goop.
Yeah.
Like it just looked like chook, right?
Yeah.
Like rice porridge. It looked delicious.
It's because most people don't eat things that are overloaded with flavors that aren't. You gotta have like a lot of artificial flavors.
I think there's a lot of Asian cuisine that's kind of like that. Like egg drop soup is kind of that consistency.
A little bit.
Like chook is that consistency. Mm-hmm.
Like thick stock.
Yeah, it's delicious.
It's delicious. I noticed that, if we're going on a side tangent here, how food in America is, the flavors aren't real. Like the intensity and the amount of flavors in it is not possible with real ingredients. It's chemically enhanced, or like Doritos. Like, what is that? What is that supposed to taste like? It's delicious, but I can't think of anything real that tastes like that, And there's like,
tastes like Dorito cheese.
Exactly. What is that though? What is that?
Like when someone.
Yeah.
It's like when you're eating a Dorito. It's like someone's screaming cheese from the next room over.
Yeah, but like he's screaming really loud, and like you can like pierce your eardrums. And there's another guy screaming it right in front of your face as you're eating it. But yeah, that's one thing I noticed. Like potato chips in general, like soda, it's not really food.
Artificial flavors.
Yeah, it's an artificial flavor delivery mechanism that you're eating as a drug, because you're like, I wanna get this sensory experience. Oh, I forgot to read a comment. Humans are not the only animals that have sex for fun. Yes, I believe I knew that. It's like dolphins.
There's dolphins, right?
Yeah.
Dolphins, sea lions.
Sea lions? Oh, all the sea creatures. They're
yeah. It's pretty rapey out there. That's why the ocean's so salty.
Oh, very. Oh, I don't want to think about that. Oh my god, that's not salt you're eating. Dolphins.
Think about that next time you have some sea salt.
No, that ain't salt. No.
Next time you get some seaweed.
No.
So while we're on the topic of food, I want to take a quick aside for how food is used in movies, because this is a very common.
Okay, enlighten us.
Have your characters eat. It's kind of like a cheap way to get your audience to connect in like a sensory fashion to your characters into a scene, because your sense of taste is one of your strongest like sense organs, right?
You're right. Yes.
Like if you read a line that says it looked like an 18th century castle, you're like, I don't know what that looks like. But
what
if
if I
you read a line
do?
that says it tasted like
chicken,
freshly grilled buttery chicken, you're like, I immediately connect with that and I understand.
I love chicken.
So whenever you see characters eat, and the Matrix uses this a few times, like that, it's a very conscious choice to get you to feel something from the scene. And like the goop is like, okay, like I haven't ever had goop, but I can, like, just looking at it, I can imagine what it feels like in my mouth and what it probably tastes like.
Oatmeal.
It looks delicious to me, man.
Yeah, I'm like, I was like, that looks fine.
Yeah.
But
I think it's because we're Asian.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, looks like food.
It sets this expectation, and you kind of immediately understand. Oh, everything kind of sucks. You can like imagine the flavor, and then later on, the scene with
Cypher, the traitor.
Cypher?
Yeah,
the traitor. Where he's eating that steak.
It's like reality is often disappointing.
Yeah, like he's eating that steak, and you understand his motivation very clearly, because you're like, goop
steak.
I would rather eat steak too.
Yeah.
Ignorance.
I get it.
Right?
Ignorance is bliss. Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss. You get that pretty quickly. It's like it's used. It's a very common trope in cinema, but even more so in books. They do it in anime all the time. Okay, their whole anime series just about eating, because it's
just about food.
Yeah, it's just about food, because it's a cheap way to get your audience to connect in a very visceral way to media that would not normally include those sensory things. You know,
that makes sense. There's like all these books go into like huge.
Like in Naruto,
paragraphs.
when they just stop
ramen?
everything and he goes to the ramen stand. You're like,
dude.
I want some ramen.
It's like, oh wait, he's trying to distract us from how bad Naruto is. Can't.
Just a quick aside. Thought I'd mention it.
Oh, that's neat. Now that you mention it,
really good.
Makes sense. Dude, that steak scene though, I wanted that steak, man. I was like,
I wanted that steak too.
Yeah, looks so good.
It's a good looking steak.
Yeah. We got got some bits from Mr. MFM. Thank you, dude. We made some money, guys. We're making it happen. Oh heck, more.
Crazy.
Crazy. How many more bits would it take for us to dance? Let's say 1,000,000 bazillion.
I would do it for 10,000.
10,000. But he can't see you. So how would that work? It just dance and no one can see you?
Exactly.
Okay. All right, that would be the best deal. Just get a dance you can't see. Yeah.
What is it? All those girls do on Twitch? It's the
appreciation board.
No, the dance streams.
The Just Dance.
The Just Dance streams. We should do a Just Dance stream.
No, never. I hate those.
Down.
I hate those.
Sam, I'm amazing at dancing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I hate those with a passion.
We need to sell out. That's how we make it.
Yes, we gotta show our man boobs and just dance.
We could all just transition and become e-girls, guys.
No, I mean, I guess you would make more money, but is it really worth it? It's not. Our dignity or making content.
Anyway, back to the movie.
Anyway,
Back to the movie.
Yeah, the fight scene is amazing, and then they go to the one with the red dress scene, which is also shot so cleverly. Like the use of extras. It's kind of like, oh man, where do they make fun of that? Was it Blazing Saddles?
Was it really?
Where like they just have extras running in a circle through a door to make it look like there are a lot more people than there are.
I don't remember Blazing Saddles. I'm sorry. That was a good movie.
All right, we're doing it next week.
Okay. Wait, is it the same vein as Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Are they both Mel Brooks movies? I want to say they are.
I want to say they are too. History of the World Part 1?
History of the World Part 1 was not. That is Monty Python?
Oh, really? Darn it. Okay.
Bro, should we do Monty Python next?
Dude,
we could.
Holy Grail
so down.
is so good until the ending. Like, it just...
That's the point. That's the joke.
No,
that's
the joke.
I know that's the joke.
That's the joke.
They ran out of money. They just stopped the movie.
No, I don't like. I want more though. I want a funny ending.
That's all you get, man.
No.
You just ring out of money.
Everything else is so good though. Like the coconuts, and there's just like clapping it together, and like it's like the velocity of an African swallow, and they're like discussing like. Oh, we got more bits. We're making money, guys. We're professional podcasters now.
Wait, seriously?
We're professional podcasters.
I mean, probably made like a total of, I would say, the equivalent of maybe
like 50 cents.
Well, yeah, I'll send you guys a PayPal of 10 cents each.
Thank you guys in the audience for the support.
Yes,
thank you.
Wonderful.
It's awesome because when we first started this podcast, I was thinking, there's no one who's gonna watch this. We'll have 0 views, you know. But we got people.
Got a couple.
We got a couple. It's okay. It's quality over quantity. We have the best audience members out there. That's right. Better than Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has quantity. We have quality. We're taking over Joe Rogan.
We have hair.
We also have hair. There's 3 of us, and we all have hair. So I think that means we're 3 times better.
Amazing hair.
Isaiah has really long hair and a mustache, so he has the equivalent of 3 people's hair on himself. So we have the equivalent of 6 people's worth of hair. So we're 6 times better than Joe Rogan. That's how it works, right?
That's exactly how it works.
Yeah, we got a new rating scale now. First of all, we're gonna rate this movie on how many times better the Suicide Squad it is, and then we can rate our podcast based on how much hair we have over Joe Rogan. That'll be our new rating scales.
And by the end of next year, we're all gonna have hair down to our waists.
Yeah, we have the most hair.
I rate this episode 1.5 heads of hair so far.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It's like, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I have more hair than you. It's not the bits that matter, it's the hair. You gotta have more hair. Yeah, last year. Oh, that's another food scene. Now that you mention it, when they're going to visit Oracle,
the cookies.
The cookies. Yeah. Also, there's a moment where Neil's like, I used to eat there. Really good noodles. And I was like,
it's a really, like I said, it's a really cheap way to ground a scene or a movie into something that everybody can understand. Like the weirder stuff that happens on the screen, like the more food you gotta have becomes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't have to, not everybody does it.
So everyone's eating.
Yeah, it's just a simple, effective way to ground the movie.
Okay, I just imagine another parody we can do. You know the scene where it's like, how can you talk when you have no mouth, right? Instead of like Agent Smith smirking, he'll be eating like a bag of potato chips, and the other agents that are looking at him will be drinking soda. What do you think about that, huh? Huh? No? No one's with me? I think it's genius. No? Okay. Fine. I'm on my own.
Just take him out to a nice dinner without any mouth.
Yeah.
It's like, well, so what would you like?
Dude, this is genius, Barry. You can't eat.
You just take it, like, sit him down at the restaurant. You're just sitting there watching them eat. They're like, this is real good.
He's eating that steak with a Cypher, and like Neo's just like shaking his head because he can't order food either. Oh my god, Barry, you brought it to the next level. Hey, you want to make videos with me? Just let me know, because I want to start making parody videos. I don't care how bad they are. I just want to make them. Let's do it.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. You mean make a good version of Star Wars? That's what you mean? Like a good version of Last Jedi? I don't think that's possible.
I don't know.
All right. No, I'm down. Hey, just let me know, Isaiah. When you're back, you gotta go straight back to school, right?
I'm coming back late July.
Late July.
Early August.
You have that's not a lot of time.
Another week.
Yeah, you got like a couple days.
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Darn it.
School starts the 26th.
I really want to start filming parodies. That's my real goal with YouTube. Like, I don't want to. Video game videos are awesome, but like I want to film all these funny ideas that are in my head. I want to get them out into the public.
No, you need to make tutorial videos, Sam.
No, those get the most hits, but I don't want to do it. I'm gonna do it, but I don't want to do it like a lot of them. All right, I'm gonna write that down. Dinner scene.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot that the steak scene is followed immediately up by the goop scene.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Are they eating with sporks?
Are they sporks? I didn't pay attention to that.
Sporks.
Oh my goodness! Why do you need
revolutionary?
Why do you need a spork for goop? Just use a spoon.
Utensil technology.
Yeah.
The eating utensil of the future.
That reminds me of the scene in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory where they're interviewing one of the people, the guy who eats a lot, and the dad just eats the microphone.
Wait, isn't his name Augustus Goop?
I think it is. Wait, is this all tying together? We find out that he was in the Matrix. He's the guy who made the goop. What's this? Who made this? Augustus Goop. All right, the Oracle scene.
The Matrix is just Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, 300 years in the future.
It is. Except they're eating goop. Willy Wonka died, so Augustus Goop took over and is just making goop. It's a monopoly.
No, it's Charlie. Charlie is the architect of the Matrix, dude. That's him sitting on that screen full of monitors at the end.
I still don't understand that. The architect.
The architect. Wait, Colonel Sanders?
Colonel Sanders, yeah.
I forgot about him.
I get it. Listen, I get it. It's not particularly profound, but it's there.
Yeah.
You know?
Colonel Sanders, KFC, I get it. He architected the heck out of chicken. Fried chicken is what I'm hearing. You got more cheers, dude. That we're doing it. We're becoming better than Joe Rogan.
We definitely are.
We are.
Like these, man. Everything about the set design is so good. I like the Cat 5 just gaffer taped to the ground.
I like
That's
the.
totally a good thing.
Do you remember the scene where Cypher betrays him and he brings out the Ghostbuster gun?
Oh, yeah.
The one that shoots electricity.
Yeah, it makes sense because they fight robots. They don't need guns because they're fighting squids. So, like, they have a Ghostbuster gun. Just like stabs people, and then that line where it's like, I don't believe it because he killed, whatchamacallit. He killed the two brothers, Tank and Dozer. And then he comes back up, and the Cypher's like, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
And it's like, believe it or not.
I love that so much. Tank and Dozer.
Yeah, Tank and Dozer. It's good.
I love how everybody goes by their handles. It's so wonderful.
Switch, Mouse,
Switch, APOC,
APOC,
Mouse,
yeah, Neo,
Cypher,
Morpheus, Trinity, yeah. Right, this guy wanted to say he watched the ad where a guy was doing the dishes and he flipped the knife and caught it with his hand. And he was confused.
Wow.
Where was this?
Now,
An ad, I don't know where. We gotta go find that later. We'll break it down. where are we? Oh, the baking, the oracle scene. There is no spoon.
Oh yeah.
You are
The oracle
bending
scene.
yourself.
Wait, was that kid supposed to be like a Buddhist monk or something?
Yeah, I
Because
think
he had the
so.
robe
Yeah.
on?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that was the idea.
That was the idea. It's like Buddha, a kid Buddha.
Why did he have a British accent?
Because Buddha is British, obviously.
I'm sure it's just some
British
production
people.
staff's like nephew or something.
Had to be.
He's like, "Hey kid, come here. Just say these lines."
It's like, well, I don't want to cast this. Let's just bring your nephew in for a day. He only needs to deliver like 2 lines.
I bet the
It'll be
two
fun.
twins who are doing the floating block thingy, I bet they couldn't act really well, so they're like, "Don't have him talk. Just don't have him talk." And they're like moving the blocks around.
Oh man, I missed this the first time.
You
When
did
When
what?
they're going to the Oracle,
Yeah.
and they walk into the lobby, there's a blind guy. And he's just sitting there.
Yeah,
and
and just like
Morpheus
nods at him.
to him, and he nods back.
Yeah, he nods back.
You're like, oh.
What?
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
Oh, we're getting more bits, guys. We're doing it better than Joe Rogan right here. Better than Joe
Wow.
Rogan. I can't see these
That's
emotes
crazy.
because yeah, they reminded me of a commercial of was it a Gene commercial? There's like a girl who's a special agent or something, and she's stripping in the bathroom to change clothes and put on a wig, and she stops because she sees a dude there, and it's just a young dude holding like a blind walking stick, right? And then she noticed that he's blind, so she changes in front of him, and then it was a men's bathroom, and then his grandpa comes out, and he's the blind one, and he hands the stick back to him. No, okay, well, anyways, I thought that was kind of cool.
I remember that.
You
I
remember that? Okay. Got
Okay.
bits coming in left and right. Oh wait, that's gonna get coming through the podcast. I gotta think this through. we need virtual audio cables so I can mix the audio separately. Anyways, I say you don't know what I'm talking about? No, you haven't seen that ad?
I've definitely seen that ad.
Okay, see, that's what that's what I was reminded of when you mentioned that scene with the blind dude. That's a nice touch, though. It's like, is he blind or is he like, can he see code? You know, like Neo can a little bit.
Like Neo can.
Yeah.
Mhm. What I thought was funny was, you know, those girls with the cubes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, this is Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch
She does the
again.
same thing with the cubes too.
You're right. Scarlet
The big
Witches, though. There's
blocks
two
in,
of them.
The one in where they go to not Volskaya.
Volskaya is Overwatch. Volskaya
They go to
Industries.
Volskaya.
Now enter Volskaya Industries.
No, where they go to Sokovia.
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Volskaya, Sokovia. Both Overwatch
Volskaya
matches.
is good.
Maps, I mean.
Both roughly Russia, right?
Yeah, Russia, yeah. Zarya's there.
Roughly Russia.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Wait, what does Das Vidanya mean?
Das Vidanya.
Good day to you, I think.
Really? Because Zangief says it all the time. Just wondering if
Yeah.
it's like bad or not, because I want to keep saying it. It
No.
sounds great.
No,
Bad
it's
guy.
like a
Not
greeting.
bad guy.
Das Vidanya.
Das Vidanya, yeah. Da.
I mean, it's the only good word I know in Russian. Everything else is bryat or
Yeah.
suka.
Yeah.
Suka bliad.
Dota 2.
Nahuy.
You gotta learn how to swear in Russian to get along with the Russians. I think they're all angry. At least the ones that play Dota 2.
Oh man, I want to bake some cookies now. I'm watching the Oracle.
Oh,
scene.
dude, I thought you were talking about I want to play Dota 2 again. I'm like, heck yeah, let's play Dota 2 again. Let's do it. Let's bring Karu back on. Let's find Kevlar and then we'll play with him, but we'll play terrible on purpose, but we won't tell him. We'll throw every
That'll
game.
be great.
And Kuru will get angry and he'll just rage, and then he'll get put into low priority forever. Sorry, that's going off on a tangent that no one will understand. I should bring it back. Yeah.
Bring
No,
it back.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
Oh man, again, the set design for this is wonderful because it looks like my grandma's crappy
Yeah.
little apartment with the terrible like patterned tiles and the
Mhm.
oven from like 5 million years ago.
Yes.
That looks like it shouldn't work, but it still does. It makes delicious cookies.
I want some cookies. Also, I like how on the wall there's like a bunch of spoons just hanging there before he gets to the kid. Just imagine like the Oracle being like, "Can you bend this for me?" And like everyone's like they're just holding spoons. No.
Oh, the terrible fop wallpaper.
Yeah, the wallpaper, dude. Like you already know there's like mold behind it. Like tore it down.
And again, they play a lot with colors here, because like the Matrix is color graded green, and the Oracle's like whole apartment is just green on green. She's wearing green.
It's great. Yeah, like the touches.
Wait, why don't they kill the Oracle again?
Not Fat Wall.
I don't remember why.
Because like
What?
Agent
What?
Smith kills the Oracle because what he's doing is he's finding people.
Oh, he eats the Oracle.
He eats the Oracle, and then the Oracle becomes Agent Smith Prime because she's the most powerful. And then Agent Smith Prime Oracle fights Neo, and then he takes over Neo, and then Neo becomes the Agent Smith Prime because the code base for Agent Smith lives in the strongest host. So then Neo's physical body holds the code for Agent Smith, and then they kill Neo physically, and that gets rid of Agent Smith. And that
they inject him. They inject him with like an antivirus.
Oh yes, all right. They inject him. All right. Anyways, he dies, and then because of that, Agent Smith, who is a threat to everyone, is dead. And then the AI people are like, "All right, we'll call back our tentacle creatures," and then they're about to wipe Zion out. And as soon as Neo dies, they're like, "Retreat, retreat! We have a truce now," and that's the movie.
I mean, it's
no
not
one
the
understood
best.
that, so like people in chat are a little confused, but like I didn't understand it. Yeah, Barry, I think you're just too smart for everyone else.
I mean, it was perfectly clear. It wasn't good.
Barry probably
but it was
understood
clear.
Inception on the first try, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Barry's like a genius. 9,000 IQ. We're just 9 IQ here. And we're like, what happened here? I think it was poorly portrayed. What was happening? It made sense if I watch it now, but remember, I was in high school at the time, and I didn't watch movies and think about it. I just wanted to watch it and have fun. And if I didn't get on the first watch through, I think, maybe they missed a little bit there.
Movie.
What?
I mean, I think it's. I don't think you guys are dumb or anything. I think it was just.
I thought you were gonna say. I think you're stupid.
I think you guys are. I think you guys are thinking too hard about it. They're just really obvious.
Oh, so you're saying we're too smart?
No, you're literally too smart.
Just give that to
IQ is too high.
Too high.
Definitely, like you're thinking too hard about like the deeper meaning.
No, it's just my high school self.
Very much of one. Like the core theme of these movies is not like a physical revolution or like physically conquering anything. It's about a revolution of ideas, about understanding that like you should fundamentally be free.
Exactly. Right? Morpheus says literally that in the movie.
And at the end of the third movie, they're free not just of the tyranny of the machines, but of the conception that they're fundamentally opposed. Because if you understand where these movies came from, then you will realize that they were never really going to try to paint the AI as like definitive villains.
I see where you're going with this, Barry. I still don't like it because there's a bunch of humans in pods being batteries.
Understand, I'm not saying it's great, but that's kind of the direction they were going.
The way that you painted it, the ending is a little more acceptable because like the way that you put it, they're free from the idea of thinking that the machines are the bad guys, and they proved it by pulling back the tentacle creatures because they had no reason to kill the humans. I mean, not kill the humans. It would have made more sense for them to kill it, but they're like, kill them. But they're like, we don't have to kill the humans, so let's call it truce. But yeah, for me though, it didn't go to where I wanted from the first movie where Morpheus is talking about we're gonna free the humans, we're gonna free them from the Matrix because the Matrix is a lie, blah blah blah. The Matrix doesn't define who you are. And then at the end, they're still in the Matrix. Most of them, the people in Zion are left alive, while the ones who survive fighting, they have a bunch of mechs in there too, which I remember being cool. You know what I'm talking about? There's a giant
Those mecha suits.
mech suits with the guns are like right.
It's so cool.
It's cool.
Those are great.
Those are great. But yeah, overall, I think it's like it's to me, it's not a real victory.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't necessarily read that as like a victory per se.
Yeah, I get where you're going though, because what you said, Barry, is a lot better than what I got from the ending of the movie after someone explained it to me. Because I was like, oh, this is a total defeat. You know, they just barely survived. But the way that you put it there, they're free from the idea of seeing the AI as villains. Kind of makes it less crappy, but I still think it's crappy.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about playing. The movies always play around with the idea of what is real.
Exactly.
And they arrive.
Yeah.
I get it. What is real?
Guide you.
Cyan?
Yeah, what is real?
Is
then,
real?
Like, they try to guide you
No.
to this.
You don't get my joke?
Like,
no.
Well, they guide you toward this, this concept that your ideas are your reality, and if at the end they believed that they could coexist with the machines, that was like the truth then. And then that was like the real moral victory at the end of the movies, because the movie that these, like, the Wachowskis were heavily influenced by Ghost in the Shell for this movie, like visually and thematically, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in that movie, there wasn't really a villain, right?
Yeah.
But talking about the movie or the series?
The movie.
Like with Scarlett Johansson or the animated one?
No,
the animated
Okay, good.
like,
the good one.
The original,
the actual good one.
Okay.
Yeah, the good one. The AI is not the villain. Like the Puppet Master, he's not the villain of that movie.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason why I understand why they were never going to really like have this war end and like the humans destroy all the AI.
I get it.
Like
I get it. But the problem is humans are still enslaved in the Matrix, right?
Yeah.
That's why I have a problem with it.
My perspective was I saw it more through the eyes of like Morpheus, right? He's all for freedom.
Me too.
So he wants to be able to save those people and liberate them, even though he explicitly says some people aren't ready for the truth yet. When in like the red dress scene, but the whole idea of like why Neo flies away at the end is like, oh, I will save these people. It's like I will show them the truth. And for Morpheus, the whole idea and like what everyone, the crew believes, minus Cypher, is like reality, even though it's shitty, is still better than living in a simulation, in a lie.
Living as a slave.
Like the truth, even if it hurts, even though it causes suffering, is still better than living in this made-up reality.
And what's also awesome, or like points to that, is Agent Smith in the interrogation scene goes over how the first Matrix was a perfect utopia, and the humans couldn't take that because they realized that it was too fake. So he mentioned
too good
that
to be true.
Yeah, too good to be true. So they're always waiting to wake up from it. So they lost a lot of. He said he lost a lot of the farm. So I'm guessing a lot of people died, or they killed themselves. I don't know what happened. They died though. Yeah, and then he made a world which was more crappy, and the humans like that one better because they need suffering, and suffering is kind of key to human existence.
I thought that was a good, like, almost existential answer, because it's like, when you go to the nitty-gritty of talking about religions, all these people are like, oh, so why does suffering exist? And every religion will have a different answer as to why. And then in this world, like, for the religion, a lot of air quotes, it's like humans need suffering in order to survive, to live, to have meaning.
Yeah. It's kind of like I mean, we're going off tangent here, but I really like the idea of having adversity to overcome and grow. Like, I was thinking about this, and even doing this podcast right now is kind of I feel uncomfortable doing it because I don't want to talk in front of other people, because I'm showing my face right now on cam, and I don't like doing that. But like, talking isn't.
It's okay, babe. You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Barry. I think you guys are more beautiful, so you should have your faces here. Or send me a picture of your faces so I can make a thumbnail. Did you see my picture of my concept? We're like wearing pointy hats, and it's just our heads enlarged. No?
Where?
in this Discord. If you scroll up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's how all the thumbnails look like.
Wow, I like that long hair you gave me, Sam.
Yeah, right.
It's
And the
very
mustache, very point. Like how Barry and me I drew it pretty well. I mean, I can show it to people here. Like
this is just like Mount Rushmore with us wearing hats.
Exactly. I'll show it right now. This 100% accurate drawing of all three of us. Like, you know, you got like picture of the podcast related topic in the background. Like John Wick, you have a dog. You know, and you know, Last Jedi was bad, and said that's the truth. I thought I would get something out of Barry, but I didn't. Yeah, isn't like I hide that in every thumbnail. I'm kidding. But yeah, like you can't have growth without struggles, and I think that's pretty great. I think that's kind of shown in the movie. He has to die first. I mean, obviously, it's symbolism too. He's cyberpunk Jesus. He has to come back. His old self has to die. Blah blah blah. All of that. Oracle said, "You're not the guy." So then, if he dies and comes back, then he could be the one. But yeah, let's go over the last set of fight scenes, and then we'll go for whatever else we have left here.
Yeah, this is like the first, like after the Oracle is like the first action set piece in like a good 40 minutes or something.
Yeah, actually, like actually, let me see here. The trap scene occurs like an hour and 20 minutes in, right about there. So there's a whole lot of story going on. And to me, it wasn't boring. I loved it. I love slow sci-fi.
Like there's like a little bit of action here and there, but it's all like,
sprinkled in.
It's very, very evenly paced.
I agree.
Also, if you want,
I remember, even I thought this for the longest time. I remember when I was a kid, I was like, "Oh, this is such a cool action movie."
Yeah.
You watch it again, you're like, "Man, it's really not that fast paced."
There's no action almost.
Yeah, and then like the betrayal, the betrayal of Christ.
Cypher's betrayal, yes, Judas. Just might as well call him Judas. Literally sold.
Cypher Judas.
Yeah, Cypher Judas sold out Cyberpunk Jesus for a steak. It's not 30 pieces of silver.
For
it's
that
steak.
I'd probably sell at least one person.
You're right.
At least one friend.
That steak looked good though. Oh my! It's like rare. It's juicy. I can go for some steak right now. I have some steak in my fridge, but not like high quality. It's pretty good though. You know what? I might cook it up. Yeah, he betrays him in the most terrible way. He kills the two brothers, Tank and Dozer, with the Ghostbuster gun. Except Tank is not really dead.
Poor Dozer.
Poor Dozer though. Rest in pepperoni. Rest in goop.
Rest in goop.
Rest in goop. And then I like how he just kills all of them one by unplugging them. And it's like, it's like, say goodbye to APOC. He just pulls him and he just dies. And then switches there and she's like, not like this. Not like this. And then she dies.
Not like this.
It's totally a video game death.
Like
yeah,
this.
not like this. And they're getting sad and angry. And I thought that, you know, Neo was going to come back or Trinity was going to come back and like beat the crap out of him. And it's kind of funny. Like there's a kind of like a Deus Ex Machina where it's like, if he's the one, then he shouldn't die, right? And then at that moment,
that's so funny.
It's like, believe it or not, you're still gonna burn. And and then just fries him.
Yeah, it's like, it's really on the nose.
It is.
It's fine. It's fine.
Fine. We don't like the Matrix because it's like real life. We like it because it's not like real life. It's an anime.
It's just, it's very well stylized.
It is.
And I don't know. It's completely okay to me.
Me too. Also, like,
it's not like
Suicide Squad.
Not as offensive, I guess, as The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
I have not. Well, I have seen it, but I've forgotten about that movie because it was pretty not
C.S.
good.
Lewis.
Yeah, it's just, it's lying Jesus. It's just it's not just
So true.
it's not just allegory.
Aslan.
It's just a straight up like it's almost a retelling of the Bible, except
much
with
is,
lying Jesus.
Except,
like-
Jesus doesn't die a second time. Just saying that's why the ending to Matrix is bad. If it was actually Cyberpunk Jesus, he would come back and just kill everyone.
I don't know. I mean,
Right.
C.S. Lewis, him and Tolkien had a big falling out over a number of things, but like I think one of the main ones being that it was just like, bro, you're literally just rewriting the Bible. Like, no,
No.
It's a lion.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
Well, I like the books enough, but the movies though were
they're fine books.
not good. The movies,
Didn't they just give up like halfway?
I think so.
After,
Yeah,
like,
I
the
don't know
second
what it
movie?
was, but the movies were not great.
They made The Golden Compass into a movie, and I was like, oh, this is not gonna be good either. That was one of my favorite books growing up as a kid, and then they ruined it.
With Warrior Bear.
Warrior Nicole Kidman. I mean, I guess it's okay.
Australia.
Eh.
Nicole Kidman, Tom Cruise.
Oh,
Have you guys seen that movie?
which one?
Great
What?
movie. Australia?
No,
I've
No?
not. No,
Have you even heard of it?
no.
I've not.
I know they
No.
were in Eyes Wide Shut, which I didn't watch, but I remember my aunt was watching it at the time, and I thought it was like, isn't this a movie where just like always making out and stuff, as a kid? So I didn't go watch it, obviously, but yeah.
Mhm.
Isn't that one of Kubrick's movies though? Before he died?
Eyes Wide Shut?
Yeah, I thought it was. I looked it up real
Is
quick.
it?
I don't think so.
I thought it was.
We'll have to check IMDb.
We'll have
And
to
by we, I
IMDb.
mean you.
It is Kubrick. Stanley
It
Kubrick,
is.
director and writer.
Huh.
I thought Nicole
Interesting.
Kidman was from America too. So when I heard her talk and she had like an accent, I was like, whoa.
Nah, she's an Aussie.
Yeah, kind of like Hugh Grant. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
what is this?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Or Spider-Man.
Spider-Man too. Oh yeah.
Spider-Man's
I was like,
British.
whoa. Like, what's
Andrew
happening?
Garfield.
Yeah, no, not Andrew Garfield. Get out of here, Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield.
No,
Best
no,
Spider-Man.
no. Don't stop these lies.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
It was not amazing.
More like the amazingly bad Spider-Man.
Got him.
Yeah, I
Got
got
him.
him, dude. Should we do like a side by side
Where's
of?
that movie
Yeah.
where he kicks that grenade and then he's like the Seventh-day Adventist dude. Why do I not remember? I've literally watched this movie like 2 times.
Which movie?
Amazing
Andrew
Spider-Man.
Garfield plays a dude who says he'll never shoot a gun, and he joins as an army medic, and then he saves like over 100 soldiers.
Oh,
No,
okay. They're talking about Spider-Man for a second.
no. It was actually a pretty good movie, based on
Okay.
a
True story.
biography. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna look up Andrew Garfield kicks grenade.
Hey, if there's like a result for that, but not Pointy Hat Man from Thor Ragnarok, I'm disappointed. That Andrew
Yeah,
We're
Garfield.
gonna have to do.
I found
We're gonna
it.
have to do some deep dives on like casting to figure out who that legend is.
We have to.
I know, dude. I know.
But okay, we're on a little bit of a tangent here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay.
Let's
It's
bring
okay.
it back a little bit.
We were
So-
yeah.
After Cypher's betrayal, it's like
Cypher Jesus.
Yeah, after Cypher Judas
Mm.
betrays Neo Jesus,
Yeah.
we get probably the best action set piece in the movie and one of the greatest action set pieces of all time.
Are you
That's it.
talking about the lobby?
The lobby scene.
Yes.
Yes, the
Do you-
lobby scene.
I didn't realize this, but then when they're loading up before they go to the lobby, and then Neo says guns, lots of guns. I believe they referenced that line in John Wick too, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah,
It was
I completely
it's a callback,
forgot
I
about
think.
it.
It was a callback. I think Keanu kind of didn't want to do it, but the director's like, all right, give me one take, just one. He's like, all right.
Guns, lots
Because
of
they're
guns.
storming the Continental. This is the third one, right? And then he's like, "What do you need?" He's
guns.
like, "Guns,
Lots of guns.
lots of guns,
Lots of guns.
Yeah.
Oh, it was such a great. It's like it's a wonderful callback. Not just the line, but like the fact that the director is his stunt double from this movie.
Yeah, from that movie.
Yeah,
dude, it's also awesome too. Where like that scene is iconic, where he goes to the metal detector and it's like, "Can you please remove all metallic objects?" And he just opens his trench coat. It's like packed with guns everywhere. And just starts killing everyone.
we gotta find out who that extra is too. The rent-a-cop.
The rent-a-cop.
Please remove all metallic items, including any jewelry.
We'll put him in the same pedestal. Well, no, he can't be in the same level.
He just opens up the trench coat.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit!
Yeah.
He just dies. That's the end of him.
Okay.
The holy shit guy.
Rent-a-cop and Pointy Hat Man. They can make a movie together. It'll be the best movie ever made.
That would be a wonderful movie. Just taking all the legendary extras from history.
Wait.
Yeah.
The Matrix cast. Cop who captures Neo. Big cop.
That also reminds me, this is funny, they did a video game thing of covering up the faces and like
Parking cop.
there's a scene where after Agent Smith beats up Morpheus and he's like, "Take him," and then a horde of cops just pouring into that tiny bathroom they were fighting, and they're just like nightclubbing him down, you know, and like he punches one guy, but then there's too many of them. I was like, that seems pretty funny.
Yeah, of like the Raid.
The Raid.
When they all storm into the bathroom. Have you guys seen the Raid?
No, I haven't seen it.
I still haven't seen it.
That'll be on our list.
We should definitely watch that.
On the list.
Okay, on the list. Alright, back to the movie timeline, the lobby scene. Also, I kind of found it funny though how Neo is just running down in a straight line and they can't shoot him because, you know,
they can't hit him.
When he's Stormtrooper aim.
Feels like my aim in PUBG.
Yeah. PUBG's hard aiming.
Yeah. I can't hit him.
He's running in a straight line. Okay, you're fair enough. Maybe he was moving really fast. We don't know how fast he was moving. Maybe he was using like superhuman speed. So it was Sonic.
No, he's not.
I don't think so.
When they're cutting back and forth between slow-mo and regular speed, you can see they're moving pretty quick. Not like speed.
I like the end where he somersaults and he's shooting people as he's somersaulting, and the guns.
He somersaults to pick up the gun.
Yeah, and he
somersaults to keep shooting.
Okay, it looks great, but I was just like, it's a little impractical, I would imagine, you know.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's stylized action. It's none of this movie. It's deliberately over the top.
It is.
If this had action like John Wick, it would actually make the movie worse.
It's
not supposed to be grounded in any way.
I guess, yeah.
That means the rest of the movie would have to be grounded and kind of close to real life, and you can't kind of do that with this movie.
Yeah,
you can't have Morpheus wearing those sunglasses.
Bending reality, right?
Yeah, bending reality when it's real. You know, the green color. Just a side note, Nacho Libre, whoever did the color editing for the first half of the movie, I think is a genius. It's like this, like washed out, like kind of pastel-y, like colors, and everything's consistent. So in my opinion, Nacho Libre is well shot for the first half. No one's gonna agree with me.
For the first half,
yeah. For the first half, yeah. I don't know why the score is so low. I honestly think it holds.
But another thing is, for all the fight sequences, like they're wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because it's easier for the stunt doubles.
Oh,
to just
you're right.
Fill in for more shots.
Did you?
Because if they're not showing their face, then they don't have to constantly be cutting between the actor and the stunt double.
It was kind of obvious though for Morpheus's Lawrence Fishburne's stunt double, because you know his ball. But like the shape of his head is distinct, and when it switched to the stunt double, his head was too clean. It was like smooth.
It was different, yeah.
It was different. It was kind of it works in the movie, but I just noticed that a little bit. I was like, oh, that guy's head is different because he's bald.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's wearing a bald cap or not, but sorry, I hit my microphone.
And we're coming up on, like, yeah, that lobby scene is just so good.
It is.
Like, one of the most iconic action scenes of all time.
Like,
Yeah. And the reason why it was so difficult for them to film, and they're like, we only have one take, is because all those pillars were custom made, like styrofoam.
Yeah.
So
They
it would have been way
afford
too costly to do a reset and reshoot.
It looked great though. When they're shooting it, it was breaking apart. It looked fantastic. In slow mo.
So good.
It looked real.
Amazing.
It was amazing. I mean,
I'm sure they messed up some takes, but like they got enough coverage where it's just so good.
So good. It just kills everyone too. It just pulls out guns, shooting left and right. I like how Trinity's like ducking in and out of the pillars, like taking their weapons and killing them, and ducking back in. That was a little more real, where Neo's just running in a straight line. But yeah, I like that. They didn't like
video games, strafe in and out of cover and
exactly
just take pot shots.
It's a video game and anime combined into one. And then that we'll go back into it if you want, but that goes into Agent Smith's interrogation of Morpheus, and like the character really comes to life. He has a motivation now. He's like, I really hate this place. I want to get out. And once I destroy Zion, I'll be able to get free of the Matrix. It's like, oh, I can relate. He's like everyone else. He wants to get out. Or get free in his own way. That was slightly before the metal detector scene, but
it's just there's a lot of density here as far as just great action and great acting and performance. Like the creepiest thing about this interrogation scene is that like he cracks a joke, and you kind of don't really think about it.
Which joke? I missed it. Yeah.
Where he's talking about he's like I hate it here. It's the smell.
Oh yeah, it's the smell. Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, was that a joke? That was a joke.
It's so good though. Like, it's like shoving Morpheus' sweat back into his nose. Like, it stinks.
The stench.
The stench. Just grabbing his head. What a powerful scene.
And then it's just like Neo showing up in his full for the full trench, the military boots. The look that every alternative punk wore for like the next 5 years.
Yeah.
When the helicopter is going off the edge, I was like, I completely forgot about that scene. I was like, oh, is he just gonna pull the helicopter back because he's Neo?
Yeah, I thought so too. And it's like, nope, she just came out. Man, the helicopter scene is iconic too, where Morpheus just sitting there and he comes out with the machine gun, just like mowing down the agents.
Like, get up.
Get up. Get up. And I like how he doesn't make it. Yeah. Get up.
That was filmed, I think, in like 6 separate stages on several different sets to get that full scene together.
Okay, yeah,
that helicopter was rebuilt several different times to get every single shot, like the hovering shot, the shot where he's in it, the shot where they're looking at it outside of the window.
Makes sense.
His shoulder shot. Those are all completely different shots on different sets. Yeah.
I did not notice that, but that kind of shows
what amount. Like that's like 2 minutes of footage.
Yeah, there's a lot of care put into this movie. I can tell.
Yeah.
Oh, the elevator scene.
Very much of like a passion project, right?
Yeah. The elevator scene also is iconic for me, where like he's holding Trinity, and then the elevator's just bringing them upwards.
Yeah.
No, okay, that was just a minor scene. That's kind of iconic.
It's a little moment, but it's pretty cool.
And then that goes into the bullet dodging scene. I think the most iconic scene from this movie, where the agents are shooting piano, and then he's like doing the slow-mo going down, and I was just thinking, he's not moving at the legs, just shoot the legs, silly. You know, like his legs can't move. I'm just thinking about that. You dummy agent. And he does get
Give him
shot in
some
the leg.
credit. The part that he eventually hits are in fact the legs.
Yeah, I'll give him credit, but I was just thinking, hey, this AI ain't so smart, dude. Just saying. Shoot the one part that's not moving. But yeah, we can just go over the scene real quick. They couldn't film this yet.
Oh, the bullet time.
The bullet time.
Oof.
They couldn't film
This is
it.
only the second time they use it in the movie, right? They only do it 3
They open with it.
They open with it.
With Trinity's jumping front kick, and then
And
this is
then-
the second instance. Is there a
And then
third
one more in
instance?
the subway.
Yeah, or they're spinning around. Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Spinning around shooting at each other. Rule of threes.
Rule of threes. You're right.
Yeah.
So people just if they want to know how to do this, it's shot on a green screen, but camera technology at the time couldn't record fast enough to do the slow motion that smoothly. So what they do is they have individual cameras that take still photos, and they position them where an actual camera would be moving. So if you see the set, there's like all of these cameras like in a circle because the camera rotates around Neo during that scene, and they take a photo of each frame that they wanted, and then they put it back together into video, and that's why it looks so darn good, but also really expensive.
It's quite expensive.
Yeah.
It's like 120 separate cameras taking individual
Exactly.
frame shots.
Yeah.
And they space out the cameras. They accelerate or decelerate the camera based on how far apart they're spaced.
That's I would imagine like setting that up would be such a pain, because if you space it incorrectly, then you're gonna have to reshoot it. Like it's not gonna, the movement between the scenes is not gonna feel like a camera moving, you know? Like big props, man.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Planning. How they did the set was they knew where they were gonna film, so they took tons of reference photos of the set, and they painted all of the textures onto a 3D environment.
So crazy.
With just the photographs.
It's
and
incredible.
then had to painstakingly rotoscope out all of their actors.
Yeah. Oh man,
Wait,
like
this is kind of like a side note, but I went to this like dance competition thing.
Okay.
Where I watched people perform, and
they did that?
They had a photo booth, and they had a small setup of about 20 DSLRs up on a rig.
Okay.
Like a semicircle, half circle rig, right? And it essentially is this. It's bullet time, right?
Yeah.
And everyone there was just, taking super basic pictures with their friends, just like smiling. I was like, y'all are stupid.
You did the Matrix thing?
So I did like a jumping kick.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like it spins around you. That's essentially the movement they're going for, right?
Yeah, they're taking selfies.
You guys don't know how to use this.
Yeah.
So then they asked me to take they asked me to take more shots for them so they could use for their website or something.
Selfies, come on, people. That's like I can imagine like Neo just taking a selfie. It's like, what are you doing?
Have you seen the new Hollywood, like on the red carpet, the camera that they have for that?
No.
To do almost like a small bullet time effect. It's really cool. I'll link it to you guys.
It's like it's not quite.
It's like a crane.
It's like a
that
crane.
Moves extremely quickly, and then you take it and then you slow-mo it. Yeah, but it's essentially the same effect for creating bullet time. Is you're spinning a camera really quickly around a set, set object.
I just imagine like a dolly. Someone's like dragging on track super fast. Like, go faster! It's like whipping him. No, I imagine like he's like holding the director.
I think you could do it if you spun someone on that dolly in like a circular track going maybe 200 miles per hour.
Just like whipping him faster.
Like on a centrifuge.
Yeah, on a centrifuge.
Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot this shot where like right after he dodges the bullets, and then the agent walks up to him and he brings up the gun and it like blocks out the sun.
I don't remember that. Yeah.
Can you imagine how much of a pain in the ass that shot was to get?
It's like, the sun's
how
moving.
Perfectly they had how perfectly they had to hit their marks for that. Oh man.
And then the sun moves too.
It's like, hurry, guys.
They probably had to be like, all right, we have to be here at 10:47 in the morning on the dot, and we only get like maybe two shots at this. and then the sun's gonna be in the wrong position.
Like shoot,
And
let's
then
come back tomorrow.
We have to change up the markers
Yeah.
and then redo the shoot. Measure it out again.
You're right. I didn't notice that, but yeah, so much care and effort was put into this movie. It's too much.
Oh, and then you mentioned the next scene. You mentioned it, where Morpheus is running, and the Smith is shooting him through the wall.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the few examples where you're like, yeah, a gun would totally shoot through drywall.
Exactly.
You ever seen drywall?
It won't stop anything. It won't stop your fist.
God, it won't stop like a wet paper towel, man. It's drywall.
Oh.
I saw someone and like fall backwards and like elbow straight through the drywall.
Yeah. Like anything will go through the drywall.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Let's see. Oh, this is where.
This is another bullet time. I forgot about this one.
Which one?
Which one?
Where he's running.
Where he's running.
The bullets are coming through.
Is it?
Yeah.
You mean in the lobby or?
No, where they're rescuing Morpheus in the helicopter, and he's like, "Get up, Morpheus."
Okay.
When he goes for the he goes
for the jump. That's another bullet time moment.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
We could break it down. Yeah.
Like it's just this wonderful mixture of practical and special effects.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm surprised of how much they went with the practical for that slow-mo stuff. I mean, obviously you got some green screens or whatnot involved. But
I mean, it looks better.
It looks really good.
It just still looks great.
It still looks great. Again, I think everything in the movie looks great, other than two scenes. I'm gonna have to take it back. Do you remember the scene where the helicopter crashes into the skyscraper and he flexes it so that it doesn't go into it and it just explodes? Like the skyscraper kind of flexes a little bit to take in the helicopter.
Yeah, that is CG, but the actual explosion is practical.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it looked a little jarring there, and the last scene where Agent Smith explodes, I didn't like it. It just looked too fake. It was like MS Paint, you know. That scene, because I thought it was supposed to be like a huge scene. It's like, oh man, you know, he stopped the bullets. He dove into Agent Smith. He just wrecked him, and then the other two agents look at each other and run away in fear. I felt like it should have been more of a spectacle, but it literally breaks into code chunks, like chunks of code. All right, we can rewatch that scene, but I thought it was terrible. Yeah. Anyways, after the helicopter scene,
explosion is so good.
Yeah.
Like the they get oily. Like there's probably like dozens of little gas poppers in there.
It's like, you know those little poppers you throw at each other and explodes?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if they use a bunch of those? There's like just sparks. Just stay still when I throw these at you. You're like wearing a green suit. Yeah.
I don't know how the actual effect is done, but I believe it's gasoline, and it's a timed there's like a ignition, but it's also like a little air popper that atomizes the gas right before it.
So it's a bigger fireball?
Yeah, so it makes this like whoosh, like this big expanding like greasy orange flame.
I have so much.
There's a bunch of different effects.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they use gasoline, sometimes they use like propane poppers for like a faster pop.
Mm-hmm.
But like the gasoline ones are the ones that like these greasy rolling black flames.
Oh, those are so good.
Yeah.
Like the other recent one I remember I think was Infinity War, when like War Machine drops like his full load of ordnance on like the Thanos' army. It's
The
just
nameless,
like
faceless,
long, like the faceless villains from A Quiet Place.
Yeah. Quiet Place. I haven't seen that movie. Wait, is that movie good?
What?
Is A Quiet Place good?
Yeah, it's good. It has a lot of like issues as far as like believability, but it's like a well constructed film. Like there are lots of little things where like if you start picking apart the movie, like why did they do this? Where did they get electricity from? Why do they communicate this way? why do they live in this house and not in a soundproof basement somewhere?
You're right.
Like, how do they cook?
How did Jim from The Office
How
get
do you
here?
wash clothes? Why are there washing machines? Why do you have to not make noise? Do you use the washing machines?
That's a good
Well, it's
question.
I mean, there's lots of little things, but it's just like none of those really matter towards like the final construction of the movie.
What if they're really
Yeah.
stupid and that's the answer? Like, they could have done these things, but they chose not to.
Why did Jim from The Office leave Pam?
Yeah, where's
A
Pam?
stupid place.
A stupid place. Hey, I like that. I like that.
They're Emily Blunt and Jim are actually married. Which is
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
know.
really?
Yeah, they're actually
Yep.
married.
I didn't know that.
He's a lucky man.
Oh, I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Emily Blunt in
No, tomorrow. Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh
Awesome.
my god. Amazing.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Total smoke show.
Absolutely.
Dude, Edge of Tomorrow is so good.
My favorite little detail from
Yeah.
that movie was the fact that her weapon is just like a broken helicopter blade.
Yeah.
That's her
That's
sword.
awesome.
She's just hitting. She's just
It's a
hitting
helicopter
people.
blade.
It's just a death. It's just like a death paddle.
Just an anime, dude. Just an anime character come to life.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one. Well, I mean, that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Should we do
Right.
Edge of Tomorrow next?
I could. It's just.
I'm so down.
It's
I love that
very.
movie.
I think people have warmed up to it now, but when it came out, it like tanked.
Really? I
Dude,
love
I
that
watched
movie.
it-
I love
I
that
watched it
movie.
in theaters in Korea, and I was so hyped.
Yeah, it's so
And I'm
good.
pretty sure everyone else, I looked around the audience, was so confused.
What? Why?
Because there weren't Korean subtitles.
Oh.
I was like, how the hell are you watching this movie?
Okay, that would make sense. They're like, I don't understand what's going
pretty
on.
So for me, as an English speaker, I was like, oh, this movie's amazing. But for them, I'm pretty sure just they did not track. Did not follow
I
at all.
would be. I was like, if I didn't understand what was going on, just I only could see
That's like
what's
me going to a
happening. I'd be
Japanese
kind of
movie.
confused.
And
Yeah.
watching like a Japanese movie in theaters,
Uh-huh.
like, why?
Yeah,
Why? I wouldn't understand any of it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it's just funny.
that's pretty
I'm so
funny.
down for Edge of Tomorrow, though.
Yeah, me too. Me too. We can make it Edge tomorrow. All right. This leads to the subway scene, by the way. Also an awesome scene.
It's great.
I think it's
It's just like the way it's shot is wonderful. It's very Hong Kong.
it is.
Like all these angles are
It is.
super Hong
It
Kong.
is. Mhm.
Because like the Wachowskis handed off all these scenes to John Woo, right?
Did they?
Yeah.
Really? Huh.
You
But
can
he was
kind of.
on set. I believe he was on set directing most of this stuff. You can see all the influences
Wow.
in like the camera angles, obviously the choreography, but also
Mhm.
like the way the whole scene is constructed is very, very Hong Kong cinema.
Like when he starts fast punching Neil, like anime style, or like when he's in the air and Johnny Cage kicks him like a couple times, like
Like all of that.
all of that. I loved it, every single bit. So I was like, this is. I guess I'm turning into
Like the dolly shot following the actors, in action. Like it's very Hong Kong. Just all of these camera angles are like just straight out of like the like martial arts ballet movies, basically.
Yeah.
That's why I liked it so much.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
It's awesome.
And like, yeah, it's like not grounded at all, and like all the hits are just like, you know, a chalk hit.
Yeah, it's
It's
nothing.
perfectly fine.
It's fine for me, yeah. Perfect. I
I
loved
love how
it.
much baby powder they use in
Oh,
that scene
so much, so
for the
much
impacts. So much.
It's like wearing a suit of baby powder. It's like dust me
Yeah.
down. Just dump
No, like when he gets up from the ground,
Yeah.
you can just see all of this powder on it.
it.
Yeah.
That's not powder. That's
All this
cocaine.
chalk.
He needs it.
Man, it's amazing. But if you watch Jackie Chan film like a fight scene, he'll powder up his shoes right before the scene, so that when he like kicks people, the impact seems harder.
God, I love Jackie Chan fight scenes. They're funny.
They're well done.
Action
They're
comedy.
extremely well done.
They're action comedy. Like he Like when he fights with the chair, he can fight with the jacket. It's just really funny.
A ladder. A fan.
Like anything.
I think John Wick is the last movie where I saw good action comedy.
You're right. The killing is very polite, like you mentioned.
Very polite. And then like just dark. Like Jackie Chan is action comedy in a very lighthearted way. John Wick is action comedy in a very darkly
super dark.
way.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna throw an axe into this guy's head, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Because he's already dead. Yeah. I still remember that scene because it's coming. Like it's so well shot too. Like he's in the foreground. John Wick is in the background, kind of out of focus. Just see him slowly stoop over and just like pick it up and aim and then throw it at him. Like builds it up.
Casually,
it's casually, just like I gotta do this.
Carries on his way.
Yeah, that guy was dying anyways. I guess he put him out of his misery.
No, nonsense.
Nonsense. All right, one scene I want to interject. So after the subway scene, the ships are being attacked by the squids, the sentinels, the tentacle creatures, and then there's a street chase scene where he is running to a phone booth. Neo is running to a phone booth because he has to get out before they activate the EMP. Otherwise, he's gonna be stuck in there. He's gonna die.
Yeah.
And then the agents are morphing into the people to chase him. So there's one really funny one. Generic Agent B. I call him Asian. Secret Asian man. No, anyways, he just throws him into the air, right? There's another one where there's a dad holding his daughter's hand, and then he morphs into Agent Smith. Yeah, and then the daughter's like, "Oh, daddy!" Like looks. Yeah, that was really funny. Like, just imagine like that happening to you, or like holding someone. Like maybe like what if you're like making out with your girlfriend or something, and then she morphs into Agent Smith. You're like, oh, what happened?
My question is, if they morph into someone new, does that old person revert back to themselves?
They do, but they're dead. Like like the helicopter pilot. Like after they shot, she's like. Trinity holds a gun up to the agent's head, and she's like, "Dodge this," and shoots him in the head.
But what if they don't kill them? Like,
I think they're normal then.
And they're just switching?
They're dead. I think they're normal. Yeah.
I bet they're dead.
I bet they're dead.
I bet they actually just die. Because they're removing the mind from the body, right?
Oh, you're right. And the body can't live without the mind.
By the way, this whole sequence, that little chase sequence, is like probably the most direct callback to Ghost in the Shell. It's like the opening scene from Ghost in the Shell where she's chasing like that hacker guy through like a market, and like turns invisible and beats him up. Like that whole sequence is very, very visually similar, and action beat wise very similar to this chase scene.
Yeah, I noticed it because it had the most people and it had the most color in it for me, and like it felt vibrant. Instead of just extras walking, because people are reacting to what's happening. Yeah. I didn't know that though. I actually haven't seen the Ghost in the Shell movie. I've seen the TV, the series. Yeah, I gotta watch it again. I mean, I watched it for the first time.
It's very. I think I enjoyed the TV series more, but the movie is probably much more well known.
The Tachikoma are my favorite.
They're great. You can spend. Listen, I could talk about.
Really?
I can talk about Ghost in the Shell for like days.
Days.
There's so much going on.
Okay, I just want a quick question though. Did the Scarlett Johansson version have Tachikoma in it or no?
I didn't watch it.
Okay. I haven't seen it.
If they don't have Tachikoma, they missed the point of Ghost in the Shell. In my opinion.
No, not really. The Tachikoma are like a narrative parallel.
I know, but I liked them so much. Like if they don't have it,
they're wonderful. But they weren't in the movie.
The first one, the original.
Yeah, they're not in the Ghost in the Shell movie at all.
Well, Ghost in the Shell is great.
The tanks are in it. The tanks are in it, but not like Tachikoma.
You need Tachikoma, I feel like.
Yeah, Tachikoma is wonderful.
What if we had a movie with Tachikoma, Pointy Hat Guy, and Rent-A-Cop? They're just going on an adventure together.
Did you watch the Tachikoma OVAs from that series?
I think I did. Is there one where like one finds a girl or a dog or something, and like he's wandering off?
That's a whole episode.
It's an episode,
they're
alright.
Like they're like little webisode things where it's just the Tachikoma talking.
I'm gonna check it out then. I don't think
they're little. They're really short. But that episode is very good. It's where the Tachikoma like bugs out and goes on like a little adventure and finds like a girl. And like they're like he becomes her dog basically, and they're like walking around, and he's just like this giant tank with like Gatling guns. And
it's like a spider tank.
And like nobody questions it until this cop comes up. He's like, "Are you little girl? Are you supposed to have this?"
This weapons grade robot killing machine.
That's just the what is that movie? The Giant? The
Iron Giant?
The Iron Giant.
I think I might have cried when I was a kid when I saw that. Was there a sad scene in there at the end or no? Does he die?
Giant?
Yeah.
Yeah, Superman.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Superman. And then he dies.
Have you seen Planet Earth with John Travolta?
Battlefield Earth?
Battlefield Earth, yes.
No.
It's really bad. You know what? Let's put that on our list. We're watching that.
It's one of the worst. It's regarded as one of the worst movies of all time.
Yeah, we need to make sure Battlefield Earth with John Travolta. We need to make sure that Suicide Squad is still the worst. We need to do our due. Hey, I went to the theaters and I watched this with my mom. And yeah.
The best thing about Battlefield Earth is that at the premiere, John Travolta invited Quentin Tarantino to watch it.
And he said no.
Quentin hadn't seen any of it. And they watched the movie together. And after the movie, Quentin Tarantino stood up and he's like, "Hey, guys, you clearly had a vision for this, and I don't know what's going to happen years from now, but everyone is going to tear you apart for this movie." It was just like feels bad, man.
Okay. I think
Tarantino just shits on your movie.
We should watch it. Okay, let's do this. How about we watch Edge of Tomorrow? All right, and then we do Battlefield Earth because they're both sci-fi, and one is great and one is just awful.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, let's do that.
Edge of Tomorrow is wonderful.
It is. We need to.
Okay, live, die, repeat.
Yeah. Hey, it's Groundhog Day. Do a Groundhog Day is awesome. The Groundhog Day episode in Stargate SG-1 is awesome. Dude, Groundhog Day. I love that movie. I thought I was not gonna like
Groundhog Day?
No. We're watching Battlefield Earth. Don't escape from your duty, Isaiah. We're watching this movie.
I will not watch that movie.
We need to make sure that it's not worse than Suicide Squad. We have to do our due diligence and our research.
That'll be a mystery for the ages. I don't need to.
We need to do it. We need to do it for science, all right? We're watching it so that no one else has to watch it, all right? We are movie reviewer Jesus. We're taking one for the team.
Absolutely not. There will be no taking one for the team here.
Okay, anyways, back to the scene, market chase scene. Neo dies, and then he comes back because Trinity is like, "I love you," and then they make out, and then it's like,
and then
comes back, Jesus, and then he's Jesus.
Came back by the power of boners.
Came back, all the blood rushed to.
My heart started beating again.
It wasn't his heart. It was something else.
It's got to get the blood where it needs to go.
Yeah. And it's another iconic scene where he's like, he can see everything, and then he's fighting the agent, and he just like turns around and just fights him with one hand because he can see everything.
And just stops the bullets.
Just picks
and he flexes so hard that the hallway bends.
Yeah.
It's like weird flex, bro, but that's cool.
Weird flex. And then Agent Smith explodes into code chunks. It looks really fake. And then it ends with where he's like, a world where anything is possible, and then he flies off like Superman, and it ends with Rage Against the Machine saying, "Wake up,
wake up,
wake up!" Yeah,
the soundtrack to this movie was amazing as well.
yeah,
So
I agree.
yeah. I liked it. I think the ending, even though it's a little cheesy and ham-fisted, it fits in with everything else in the movie, like the message they wanted.
Bookend.
It's a bookend, yeah, it's a bookend.
It ends with a very similar shot to the end of the first scene, like the telephone.
Yeah. The telephone. I think it's well constructed. I think it's the themes and the logical flow and the world that they built is very coherent and consistent. You can see they dedicated themselves to this movie because there's so much detail. And if I watched it the third time, I bet I'll pick up more things that I missed. Like there's too much in each scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's one of the movies where I think you should watch it more than once and you kind of appreciate it more each time.
I think they really reward your continued and repetitive movie watching experience. Like I think it's a movie that just gets better the more you watch it. Its rewatchability level is so high. I think there's not that many movies that are like that, besides Only the Best, Inception, and Mulan.
Mulan.
High rewatchability right there.
Mulan?
I think I've seen Mulan like over 10 times now.
Okay.
She saves all of China, boys. What do you mean?
All of China.
All of China.
All of China knows you're here.
All of China knows you're here. Until the Huns come back later and take over China.
Man.
I was explaining to one of my friends the history behind Mulan, and he's like, "Wait, the Huns are Mongolian?" I was like, "Yes, yes." And I was like, and they also take over China later, so walls don't work.
You're right. Or do they? Maybe the Mongolians have a status bonus effect against walls, but it works against everyone else.
Like Russians in the winter.
Exactly, They get a boost in the winter time. Everyone knows this. The vodka gives them power to overcome cold. Special ability.
Plus 10 survivability.
Yeah, in winter. Or to anything, actually. Just, they're invincible. That's why no one beat Russia, right? Napoleon made that same mistake. Did anyone beat Russia in the winter time? Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically they had not wanted to stay in Russia. They had wanted to push through to not Stalingrad. Stalingrad was not originally the goal.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like Napoleon or like World War?
No, Hitler.
Hitler? Okay.
Actual World War II. There's a lot. It's a lot more complicated than people make it seem. Like Hitler was still completely stupid, but part of the reason
they actually started like going towards the attack on Russia. They began that front in the summer. They just didn't expect it to take that long. So then, by the time it was winter, they had no supplies, and they just all died.
It's not just the supply issue. So what happened? I'll have to review this, but in a nutshell, they were originally pushing towards like a much more valuable military objective, and at this point, the army was running on very low on oil and other supplies. This is part of the reason why they were pushing very hard in their North African campaign and Middle Eastern campaigns.
Get oil.
To try to capture very critical oil fields. And
resources
by their army essentially, but they lost. They fucked that campaign up really bad, so they were forced to go for a different objective or face the very, very real fact that all their mechanized units would just be useless because they would have no gas. So they basically rerouted to Stalingrad, and then like everything that went wrong, Hitler kept doubling down on it over and over again, and then they just got bogged down. And that was kind of the turning point because they couldn't capture it. It was like it was still, if you look at it from if you look at it out of context, it's still sort of a strategic victory for Hitler, even though he lost his armies because he killed so many Russians there.
They killed so many Russians.
So many people died holding that city. like they originally attempted to encircle them, and then got bogged down so long that the Russians were able to bring in reinforcements and then re-encircle them, and then they lost one of their main armies right there and a lot of their fighting forces.
That reminds me of the sniper.
Enemy at the Gate.
I don't know about Enemy at the Gate. But he didn't have a scope or anything. He just used a regular rifle, and he would snipe.
Oh, the White Death.
White Death. There you go. White Death.
Yeah.
That would be an awesome movie.
The White Death.
Yeah, the White Death. Oh man.
I don't think anybody wants to make that movie because he was not technically quote unquote a good guy, right? He was killing Russians, first of all. He was killing the advancing Russians. And I mean they weren't necessarily the good guy either, but you know. But yeah,
you're a bad guy, but that does not.
You're a bad guy.
Not to make you bad the guy.
I think I've referenced that at least once every podcast.
It's so good.
Yeah.
He's like the. I mean, he'd probably have one of the highest KDA ratios of all time.
Exactly, a really high KD ratio.
It's like, bro, have you seen my stats?
Yeah, have you seen my stats, dude? Yeah, I'd just say it would make an awesome movie. I don't want it to be about like make it real, but I'm just saying like a guy against the odds.
Isn't that what Tarantino did? They made a movie for him.
Really?
An Inglourious Bastards.
Oh
yeah.
That's about him, right? Or is that a different Nazi sniper? Is that different? No, that's different.
Inglourious Bastards is completely different. It's about
what sniper was that? He was fighting on the Western Front, right?
He was Finnish, I think.
No, he was.
What, the White Death?
Oh no, I'm not talking about White Death. I'm talking about the sniper in Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, I don't remember.
That's a great movie too.
That is what's his face? Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz.
Great performance. Except I noticed that he can't really. He's just Christoph Waltz in every movie.
I don't think that's his entire range. I just think his performance was so strong that everybody wants to cast him to do that.
I think that's the danger of being typecasted.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think he's a really talented actor, but he's kind of typecast because of that role.
I wish
he played the exact same person in The Green Hornet, which was not a great movie, but he was very memorable in that because he was playing the same. He was just playing Nazi guy in The Green Hornet.
Yes. So soldier guy and Nazi guy.
Like I'm just thinking of the movie. What's that Wild West movie?
Wild Wild West?
No.
The Wild West. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
No.
The Magnificent Seven.
It was Magnificent Seven. It had the girl in it.
Django.
Was it Django? Oh, I think I'm thinking of Django. There's another movie with the what's her name again?
Halle Berry?
No, not Halle Berry. The girl. Hold on, let me look it up real quick. So y'all carry on. It's alright.
There's a lot of westerns.
I know. I'm looking it up. My memory's really bad right now.
Speaking of Inglourious Bastards, I heard an interesting anecdote that Tarantino has said that they almost didn't make that movie because they needed an actor that could very fluently act in all like French, German, and
in English. Yeah.
And really emote, and they couldn't find him, and like they kept pushing back the casting deadline, and eventually they said if we don't find somebody by the end of the day, we're just gonna shelve this. And then they found him at 7 p.m. that day.
Okay. For a record, yes, I was thinking of Django Unchained.
Okay.
I didn't like his character. I didn't like it as in I feel like Christoph Waltz was a little underutilized for that role.
But he's not Nazi man in that role.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It didn't feel like, like they gave him a lot to work with there. And the movie that I was thinking of was True Grit with Jeff Bridges.
Oh, okay.
with Matt Damon.
I've never seen it.
Haley Steinfeld.
I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a decent movie. That's
Yeah,
all.
it was
At the
pretty
time, I didn't think Haley's acting was great, but I think she's a lot better now. I mean, obviously she was pretty young at the time. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, just like True Grit, you know. Like I mean, Django. Like I wish they
that's a
gave
movie
more.
I'm excited for. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Which
Yes,
is...
I'm excited for that as well.
Yes, I'm excited for that too. Yeah.
I don't know when it's coming out, but they're
sometime 2019, right?
I have no idea.
It
I have
says
no idea. I just heard little
2019,
rumors here and there.
July 26th for USA.
Really?
Yes,
So very soon,
very soon.
in like a month.
Oh, I'm excited.
It's exciting stuff.
That's great. I think Tarantino only has a couple more movies in him because he said that he wants to make 9
Or 10, right? 10 and done.
Yeah, and it's just done. And like, wow, I respect that.
Dude, the cast for this is packed. You got Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, Timothy Olyphant, Leonardo DiCaprio, obviously, Dakota Fanning, Al Pacino, Luke Perry, Kurt Russell. Like,
Tarantino is great, not just because he's a fantastic director, but because he has so much clout.
yeah,
that he can just get.
Absolutely. He can pull anyone. Yeah.
He's like Wes Anderson. You're just like, hey, you want to be in my movie? All right, cool, done.
cool. Yeah. I remember how like DiCaprio. What was that movie that Tarantino made where he casted for made it for DiCaprio, and he turned it down, and ever since then he regretted it. So every time he has a movie and he wants DiCaprio in it, he's always down for it.
The movie DiCaprio said no to?
Yeah, do you know?
I don't know.
I forgot. I don't know
I
which
have no
one it
idea.
is.
Was that Reservoir Dogs?
I have no idea. It's been too long.
It can't be Reservoir Dogs. That was. Didn't that come out before DiCaprio was like a big name?
Reservoir
Really?
Dogs came out in
I want to say so.
06.
I mean, but DiCaprio was a child actor, though. People knew him from, The Grapes of Wrath, right?
Yeah, but like, he wasn't.
Well, his
Like,
big
feature-
break was
1992.
Titanic.
Sorry,
Titanic was his big
Titanic.
break.
Yeah, Titanic
Reservoir
was his big
Dogs
break.
1992. There you go. That's before
Yeah,
that.
and Titanic. Yeah, so that was before.
So before, okay. So it was later.
Maybe Inglourious
I mean, he was in
Bastards.
Django.
Django, yeah.
Actually, yeah, probably Inglourious Bastards,
Probably.
right?
I'll have to look this up. Kill Bill. It'd be funny.
Kill Bill. The bride.
Yeah, DiCaprio's a bride. He's gonna kill Bill. I remember this though. Like, I remember to like pick your favorite romance movie. Mine was Kill Bill 2, Volume 2. I was like, Kill Bill Volume 2 is the best romance film ever made. Don't at me. Right? That's how I saw it, you know? She kills him, but like,
okay.
yeah, you know, they get
If
back
we're talking,
together.
like praying mantis kind of love, then sure.
Yeah. I mean, love is love, you know?
Yeah. Just eat their head.
Yeah, it's eat
That's
their head.
fine.
Exactly.
Featuring David Carradine's possibly last role. I don't remember if he did anything after.
He just. The way he went, though. Oh, man.
He went out like a legend.
I don't know about legend, dude, but like, what a way to go. Like, why would you die doing that?
Like a legend.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Why would you die like that? You wasted your life.
I mean, there are way worse ways to go.
You're right. At least he went
If
out.
I had to go and pick and choose, this would be pretty far up there.
I guess it's not bad. There's a lot worse ways. You're right. You're totally right. At least he was enjoying himself when he died.
He died the way he lived.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, well, I think we should call it an end here. I think.
Yeah, I think The Matrix, wonderful movie.
Wonderful movie.
do we want to take a brief moment to talk about the sequels?
I think we did enough with this. Yeah, let's just glance over it because I feel like it doesn't do justice.
So, I think part of the problem with the sequels is the first problem is I don't think the Wachowskis knew that they were going to make sequels.
Yeah,
I don't think they
Yeah.
were. Yeah.
Until
didn't
the
know.
studio was
Mhm.
like, "Hey, this movie made a lot of money. Let's make some
Let's
more.
do that again.
Let's do that again."
Speed
it's like
Racer.
John Wick, except John Wick worked out.
Yeah.
That's true.
And the next problem is they put a lot more focus on the romance
Yeah.
to the detriment, because that was like easily the weakest part of the first movie.
I still remember.
Maybe they're just trying to overcompensate.
Yeah, I still
for
remember
what-
there was like this graphic sex scene in was it number 2?
Was it number 2?
Number 2.
I think it was number 2, and like no one liked it. It was just like, why is this here?
Oh, but that scene was otherwise wonderful. It was the rave. It was the
Yeah.
crazy
The
sex rave.
It's
was
sex
great.
orgy.
The giant sex orgy in Zion. And like 14-year-old me was very excited to see it.
Yeah, like even with me, I was just like, this scene doesn't fit. Like, I don't buy it. Like, it's just like it's like
It was a lot of this. It was a lot of the same ideas. You could clearly see like some
Yeah.
interesting concepts. I just think The Matrix felt like a movie that they had been developing in their heads for like their entire lives, right?
Mhm.
That's like a
Mhm.
movie that you're always like imagining little scenarios in your head and stuff like this. This felt like a movie that they had been building in their heads for like years and years
I
and
agree
years.
that it's awesome. It's well made. The first one.
And then The Matrix 2 and 3 came out, and they're like, "What do we have left over?"
Exactly. Because the way it
What
ended.
didn't we fit in the first
Yeah,
one?
the way that it ended, the way you explained it, Barry, actually made it a lot more palatable. But even then, the way that it ended, I didn't feel like that's the ending they had in mind, like envisioned. Like I feel like they're like, shoot, we need an ending. How do we end this? And then they're like, all right, we'll just have him go out on a cross, like
just
cross.
carry him out on a literal cross.
On a literal cross, like.
Just slap him in the face with it.
Yeah. But the way you put it though, like I feel like I think honestly they're a little underrated. I think people trash it too easily. I think it's still a serviceable movie and they do complete plot elements. Just not
I mean, there's so many interesting ideas
Yeah.
there. It's just like they're either underdeveloped or way overdeveloped.
Yeah.
In case
Yeah.
yes. Again, I don't think they're
Oh.
bad completely, but
Yeah.
Definitely much better than Suicide Squad.
Definitely.
much better than
like there's a
Suicide
story and it's
Even
consistent.
number 2 is probably like 5, 6 Suicide Squads.
You're right. All right, we got that on quote here. We're saying Matrix 2 is about 5 to 6 Suicide Squads.
It's about 5 to 6 Suicide Squads.
Okay.
That's a pretty good assessment.
You're right. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
You're
right.
I agree
think
with
that's
that.
fair.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I think it's just that the first one is so strong and so impressionable that kind of like obviously 2 and 3 are gonna kind of pale in comparison to it. But like if you consider it by themselves, honestly, not that bad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I think focusing on their romance is a mistake.
Yeah.
I also
definitely.
feel like they're much more action movies than the first one is.
Yeah. I
The
love the
first one is much
3.
more of a sci-fi.
Yeah, I love the
Just
battle
the
scene,
war
the
at the end.
anime, yeah, the Kage
anime
Bunshin,
war.
all these Agent Smiths
Um,
everywhere. I was like, heck yeah.
Oh, that fight with all the Kage Bunchins.
Yeah, awesome. It's like Naruto, just do this and then summon your clones.
Like the reason people hated that movie so much
Yeah.
is because you went from some literally the most iconic action set pieces of all time to that.
Yeah.
To like one of the least, like it's also one of the most iconic set pieces of all time for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
People thought it looked like a dumpster fire.
Dude, it's still good. It was like so bad. It's good. Like I was just watching it.
Ammunition.
Yeah. I was like, yes, this is anime. This is Dragon Ball Z. This is what I wanted. Like, cause real life the real life live action Dragon Ball Z sucked. There was one Did you see the one? This is on the list too. The Dragon Ball Z
Oh,
one.
the white people.
The white people in it, except the girl. She's Asian.
Yikes!
You know, like I'm
Big
pretty sure. Yeah,
yikes.
Barry, you've seen it, right?
I definitely saw it.
Isaiah, did you see it?
It was not good.
Nope.
It's really bad. let me just quickly look it up. This
I
is.
mean, he somehow got Chow Yun Fat into that piece of shit. So
You're
I don't
right.
know.
Oh,
I
Dragon
don't know
Ball
what they paid him, but
Evolution.
it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
Not enough for his dignity.
Yeah, Justin
Not enough for any of their
Chatwin
dignity.
was Goku. I forgot Jamie Chung was in there too.
Jamie Chung was the girl.
Jamie Chung was Chi Chi. Yep.
No.
Yep.
That's so sad, dude.
Yeah, this is a terrible movie.
Not worth selling your soul.
You know, we have to watch it just to make sure that it's not worse than Suicide Squad. We're doing this for the team, you know, taking one for the world.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna definitively say it's not worse than Suicide Squad. Okay.
Really?
It's a bad movie and it's insulting to the audience, but as a film, it's still structured. And you still largely understand the plot,
Well,
right?
there's not
It's a
much of a
dumb
plot. Yeah.
It's like everything about the movie is bad, but it still has like some structure and continuity. And Suicide Squad lacks even that.
You're right. You know what? You just saved Isaiah viewing a Dragon Ball Evolution. We don't have to watch it. It's
Yes.
Barry says it's better.
I am spared.
You were
Thank you,
spared, but
I will give Dragon Ball 1.5 Suicide.
okay. That's slightly
barely
better.
It's barely better.
But Battlefield Earth,
By.
we still need to watch it. It's coming. Scientology. There we go.
Oh,
I refuse to watch that movie, Sam.
We need to watch it.
How about you watch it for us, Sam, and you let us know if it's better or
No,
worse.
we all have to suffer together. I watched it already, and I tried to erase it
I've
from
watched
memory.
Suicide Squad twice, Sam.
Suicide Squad? Hey, you know what? You're right. Twice is pretty bad. I only watched it once. Wait, Barry, do you watch it
once
3
is
times?
terrible. Twice is like masochism.
Yeah.
It hurt.
It hurt. Yeah, it hurt the first time through. I was just like, I was pausing like every second to write down what was wrong with the movie, and after the first 20 minutes or so, I gave up. I'm like, I don't want to watch. Yeah, I just can't.
There's too much wrong with it.
There's too much. I thought it was impossible, but it was.
You could do like a 500 level university course in film school about everything that went wrong with the production of this movie.
The failure of
just like
Suicide
a
Squad.
semester long.
Just one
like
500
semester
level
long.
course.
Semester, I would be like 4 years long. Still not
It's
enough.
incredible.
I got a degree in why Suicide Squad is a terrible movie.
Actually incredible.
Yeah.
But back to the Matrix 2 and 3. As bad as like the action was, it did inform, for better or for worse, Man of Steel, because there are some shots from Man of Steel that are straight up lifted from Matrix.
Superman. Superman.
Yeah. Like when they're punching their way around, like just like killing everybody, like with a complete disregard for all the civilian lives. So they missed the part of the Matrix Revolutions where the city was already empty. And like it's just a bunch of agent Smiths. And like they're just punching people through buildings and just like everyone's dying. You're like, oh man, you guys really missed the mark here.
That's why Man of Steel was not that great. It's okay.
It's like that's what I want in my Superman movie, like hideous disregard for civilian casualties and murder and 9/11 allegories. That's Superman, guys. That's
and then he cries when he kills Zod. What is it, Zod? What's the villain's name?
General Zod.
General Zod, yeah. Man.
What a dumb movie.
Was it? Were all those DC movies Zack Snyder?
No. Patty Jenkins.
Oh no, not the good ones. I'm talking about the bad ones.
Not the good ones.
Yeah, not the good ones.
Yeah, Patty Jenkins did Wonder Woman and the guy that did Annabelle did Shazam.
So a horror director did a comedy.
Yeah.
And it was way better than anything else.
It was way better than anything else.
Yeah,
Sounds
I mean,
right.
Zack Snyder did Superman. He did Batman v Superman, and then he did Justice League. And then, well, he did, I'd say 90%, 75% of Justice League. And then they brought in Joss Whedon.
Wait, who did Suicide Squad?
Excellent question.
Who's the unfortunate guy?
Somebody has his name on it. I think it might have been a directorial debut.
That's just so sad.
You don't want to debut with Suicide Squad.
Because I remember thinking, like, I respect this guy for keeping his name on this giant piece of crap.
Yeah.
Damn. I hope he's like straight out of film school. You know, recent grad, 22, 23 years old.
David Ayer.
A lot of movie before.
He is also the writer. David Ayer. Champaign, Illinois, dude. Champaign, represent.
No way.
Yeah.
He has had a lot of writing credits. I don't know if he has very many directorial credits.
Oh, I know this guy.
You know this guy?
He worked on Lost in Oz, Spider-Man Unlimited.
Oof.
X-Men, Watchmen, X2, The Scorpion King.
Hey. But yeah, Zack Snyder though, like I like his older movies, like 300. I loved. It's so cheesy and corny. Like Watchmen, I really liked. It was stylistic, and it had a decent source material. They just basically lifted everything off the comics.
Watchmen is just straight out of, like, they made one major change, which is instead of a giant psychic tentacle monster, it's Dr. Manhattan.
Oh,
which
really?
Is actually a great. Okay, I've read the comic.
I did. They make the giant tentacle monster. They bring it in and kill a bunch of people to make it seem like there's an alien, so the humans can unite and fight against this fake foe that guy made. That's the whole plot of the movie. Is Dr. Manhattan instead in the movie?
Yeah,
I totally forgot that. I just remember Blue Dong, like a lot of Blue Dong.
It erases your memory of everything else.
That's all I remember from the movie was Blue Dong, and I was like, well, I guess this is the whole movie.
That's a Blue Dong.
Yeah, that's a Blue Dong. It's very blue.
But it actually works so much better.
It does. It
works much better.
Because then, it makes sense that he would leave. Be like, I'm gonna make my own life because humans suck.
And now he's in the DC universe.
Really?
DC purchased the rights to Watchmen, and he's folded into the DC universe, and now he's the villain, major villain for like the next big crossover event.
Are you serious? But he's not a bad guy. He's just a blue man with the blue dong.
Yeah, well,
Blue Dong.
Yeah, blue dong.
Well, he's a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy.
He's not the bad
guy. Oh, yeah, he did Sucker Punch too. I mean, that's where it all went wrong, I think, with Sucker Punch.
I don't know. I can't wait for them to try to fold that into a movie. Like,
Blue Dong?
Yeah, put Watchmen into the DCEU.
Oh, dude, it's not gonna work. They're just like dudes. Everyone except for Dr. Manhattan. They're just dudes.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
gonna
be Dr. Manhattan, like, atomically disassembling everyone. Just like, I'm Batman.
Yeah, I'm Batman. I'm Dog.
Just like explode.
He just slaps him with the giant blue dog, can materialize it out of nowhere. Like, kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom, like over the top super. So tagging in people just tags in blue dongs. But yeah. So I think Sucker Punch is where it went downhill for Zack Snyder, because I think without source material, he kind of loses his way there a little bit.
He might be an okay director, but I think he's a terrible screenwriter.
Yeah, I agree. Like, visually though, it's awesome. Like 300 and Watchmen. Really?
I like 300.
I love 300. It was so over the top, like. So
it works for that. Yeah. It works for that story though, because the story is so bombastic.
Yeah,
it's so ridiculous
and ridiculous that it works.
And Watchmen too, right? It worked.
It worked in Watchmen
Yeah.
because it's a miserable world full
Yeah.
of miserable people. Which is why when you film with this miserable, like desaturated tone,
Yep.
it works.
It
It's
works.
fine. But when it's Superman,
Okay, we don't talk
when
about
it's
Superman.
fucking red and blue and gold Superman flying through the sky, it's not great. It's not great.
Yeah,
And
but
then like in Justice League when like Joss Whedon came in and recolor corrected everything and like resaturated it, and everything looks like double dog shit. Because it's been desaturated and resaturated, and
yeah.
everything in the production design is specifically designed for Zack Snyder's miserable view of the world.
Mhm.
And then like you look at their costumes and you're like, oh, is that what they look like?
Oh.
Yeah.
I think the real question is, who hurt Zack Snyder?
I
I don't know, man.
don't know. For
Sad
me,
life, dude.
yeah, for me, I think it's Sucker Punch. I think that's where it slowly went downhill for Zack Snyder. Because Man of Steel came
I
after
enjoyed
that.
Sucker Punch on the record.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I could see the beginnings of the downfall in Sucker Punch.
I remember
Yeah.
my favorite thing about Sucker Punch is that before going to the movie,
Yeah.
I read that it was a movie about female empowerment. And then I remember I watched the movie and like 5 minutes in, I'm like, where does the female empowerment begin? And I remember thinking this every 5 minutes until the credits roll. And I'm like, oh,
I must have missed it.
I missed something.
yeah.
Because she just like strip teases for men all throughout the whole movie, and then like she ends up lobotomized. And you're like, what the fuck? Where's the empowerment? When was that supposed to happen?
I guess it came in the Ghostbuster film. It's for
I will say that it gave us Oscar Isaac, which is wonderful because he's great. He was the bad guy in that movie. And there's like all the set pieces are wonderful, but it's just so dumb. It's so bad. The steampunk zombie Nazis were just great. I would watch a whole movie of just that.
Yeah, that's what I meant by the beginning of the downfalls. Like, it's fun, it looks pretty cool, but then like everything else around it doesn't hold up. That's what I meant.
I don't know, man. He's like, he's not great with characters. He's not great with like just not great at writing screenplays, I guess.
Dude, let's not go over how bad his characters are in the DC movies, because it's laughable. Laughably bad. Like, okay, I don't want to go into it so much, but yeah.
Then that deserves its own separate podcast.
Own separate piece.
Yeah. Suicide Squad, that was probably one of the worst.
Is just a gateway drug to the greater terribleness of the DCU.
It's like, it gets so much worse.
It's so much worse. Oh, just when you think it's bad, got worse. That reminds me, though, we need to watch Suicide Squad 2.
The second one?
Yeah.
Well, we have a bet going.
Yeah, we do.
We still have our bet going.
We still have our bet going.
I mean, I'm down to watch it if it's James Gunn, though.
He's writing it and directing it, so like...
Yeah.
But Rick Flag is still in there, so I'm a little worried.
Soldier Man.
Generic soldier guy.
Soldier McFlag.
Yeah, Soldier McFlag. He represents McDonald's and the flag. It just reminds me of Team America.
The same actor, the same cast, the same crew, with a better director and a better screenplay and better editing could make a good movie.
I agree.
I agree too. Those actors aren't bad.
They're talented actors, yeah.
Even the We're Family guy is not bad.
Well, he's dead.
He's dead.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know that. He could come back as a fire demon. They don't really go over that. It's just like he just disappears, The bomb explodes.
The plot is so confusing that he could honestly be whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever.
It's whatever, yeah.
I don't know, man. The whole DC universe is it's such a mess. It's just such a mess.
I think there's gems here and there.
Christopher Nolan. Wonder Woman.
Christopher Nolan's Batman.
I just think it's average. Like I don't think
doesn't
it's
count.
Yeah, really.
Doesn't count.
I think it counts.
Doesn't count.
I think it counts.
I don't think it counts. Yeah.
You don't think it counts?
I don't think it counts.
Definitely doesn't.
No, it's not. It's not DC. Universe.
I don't know, man. What would you say is the best movie that they've done?
I'd say Wonder Woman.
See,
right?
I would agree with you, but the problem is Wonder Woman is still not a great movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Wonder Woman,
it's just okay.
It's just okay.
Well, the first two acts, I think, are really good, and then it just all falls apart in the third act.
Well, I disagree.
So 60 of the 90 minutes are pretty good.
I don't think it's pretty good. I think it's serviceable.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, like there's some things I take issue with. I remember in the beginning where they're on the boat, and like, you know, Chris Pine's kind of flirty with her, but she's so innocent she doesn't get anything. But it's still like a flirt scene, kind of like out of a harem anime, you know, kind of. No, I meant no. Yeah.
So it's fine because if you realize that Chris Pine is playing the exact same role as a woman would be playing if the roles were flipped.
Oh, okay.
No, that's the point.
Okay.
That's the point.
Okay.
It's to make a statement about the genders being switched. Yeah.
All right, but I just didn't buy it because I wanted Wonder Woman to be like this just strong figure, and she's too hot.
Well, you're looking at it from the perspective you're expecting Chris Pine to be like the protagonist.
No, I don't want him to be the protagonist. I don't care about that. I don't want him to be the protagonist. Wonder Woman is the protagonist. Yeah. Semi-gonist.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I'm approaching it as. I just thought that his character was useless. And
yeah, that's the point.
I know, but no, wait, that's not the complete point. I know, I got it. But like, you can't make the movie based on like a point. It has to be good. And so like the one thing I didn't like is that the entire payoff is that he dies at the end, and that she gets angry and then powers up. So in the end, she still needed a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I kind of see it. I mean,
like she got angry, she got pissed.
Again, it all falls apart in the third act. I think we're pretty.
I think everything in the third act just falls apart. Yeah.
But yeah, like I just overall, I think the movie could have been crafted better. I think it was kind of sending mixed messages. Also, I don't like it when they're like, "This is here to make a point," like kind of like Captain Marvel.
I mean, they don't come out and like.
No,
I mean,
I think it's
talked a little bit
okay.
About it, but it wasn't like as in your face as like Captain Marvel.
No, it wasn't.
Captain Marvel was way too in your face. Yeah.
But that said, serviceable movie. Like I think, even with the third act.
Yeah,
but then that's the best they got. Is it was pretty okay.
It was pretty okay. Yeah.
It was pretty okay.
What about Shazam though? Wasn't Shazam okay too? Like Shazam, right?
Yeah, I like Shazam.
Right?
Would you rate that higher than Wonder Woman? If Wonder Woman is a C+, what would you place?
No, how many Suicide Squads? That's a rating scale.
How many Suicide Squads? Yeah. Oh, I give Wonder Woman like 6 or 7.
6 or 7? Yeah, one like even
higher than the second Matrix. Because if we say the second Matrix is like 5 or 6 Suicide Squads.
Yeah, I put Matrix 2 as like 5. I'd put Wonder Woman as like 6.
Okay.
Just like slightly above.
Yeah, a little bit above.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
It's much better constructed.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then Shazam, I'd probably put above Wonder Woman.
Like a 6.5.
I'd probably give it a solid 7.
Oh dang! All right, I gotta watch Shazam.
I don't think
maybe we should actually watch.
Yeah.
There aren't as many like memorable moments, but overall, it's just a more
well-rounded.
Yeah, it's more well-rounded. I think.
So I was gonna agree with
more
you.
Genuine.
Yeah,
it feels a lot more genuine.
Wonder Woman had a lot of highs that I remember, but also the lows were pretty low.
Good moments.
Yeah, a lot of good moments. It's just Mars. I have a problem with Mars. The mustache. I can't take it seriously.
Mars guy.
Yeah.
Just like generic
British guy.
He looks so goofy.
Yeah. So for me, like, just get rid of that character, or just, put Mars and like if you had the Rock, that would've been awesome. Just comes out like it's like
Just the Rock.
Yeah, just a rock comes out.
It's like the Scorpion King.
Yeah, no, not Scorpion King.
Scorpion King it up.
We don't talk about Scorpion King. Let's talk about like Rock coming out. It's like jabroni and like I'm gonna take your blade or whip and shove it up your ass, kind of like like. And then she beats the crap out of him. That would've been awesome. But then it's generic British man with the mustache.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Shazam though, Shazam's pretty nice.
Yeah, I was thinking when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this won't have a lot of highs, but it won't have a lot of lows. Just overall like a steady like vibe.
Shazam is probably the first DC movie that I'd be really comfortable taking like a kid to.
Ah, okay.
I'd be perfectly okay with taking like a kid to see Shazam, which is great.
Noted. But is it
because there's it's not just because it's like not super violent or whatever, it's just because like he's a hero,
Ah, okay.
It's not like frowny
Batman?
Superman or like murder Batman.
Murder Batman. It's like I'm not gonna kill anyone, but I'll just bring him really close to death. I'll break every single bone.
I'll beat them with an inch.
I feel like he definitely kills people. He aggressively kills people.
Oh, Batman?
Yeah.
But that's his code though. He can't kill people.
But he does in the movie.
He totally does.
In the movie? Well, I haven't
remember?
seen Batman vs Superman, so.
Okay, yeah, he murders a lot of people.
Oh, wait.
He kills a lot of people.
Okay, that's not right. He has a code.
He doesn't like shoot them or like he doesn't shoot them or anything, but like they're clearly dead.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh god, that guy,
He's
either
dead.
he's paralyzed or he's dead.
Well, to be fair, the first Batman had a gun, so and he shot people, so I get it. But
Yeah, like the not killing people thing came up late 80s, early 90s when people started questioning why like a mass vigilante was allowed to run around Gotham in comic books or whatever. And they're like, well, he doesn't kill people.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever that means. He won't kill people, but he'll paralyze them for life. So
Yeah, no, like Ben Affleck Batman straight up kills people. Like he grapples a car, right? And then he like pulls it along on his roof, and then like flips it over and slams it into another car.
He's dead. There's no way he's alive.
50 miles an hour.
Yeah. Fireball.
And there's a giant fireball. And then later on, like like there's a guy holding Superman's mom hostage. Well, he's holding like a flamethrower to threaten her with.
Okay.
And he like throws a batarang at it and blows it up. And then the guy just explodes into a giant fireball.
Yeah, it's like he's definitely dead.
Oh, you're like, oh, he is dead as shit. We're like, oh, it's so violent.
Okay. I kind of appreciate that though. I mean, I feel like Batman's angry and it's just trying to take it out on criminals. You killed my parents.
I mean, I guess it would have been okay, I guess, if the rest of the movie weren't such a train wreck. But like,
yeah,
man, it's real violent.
Okay.
Real bad.
Real bad. And Shazam is like, I'm a superhero. I will protect people and try not to kill everyone.
Awesome.
I'd put that like close to like Spider-Man level, right? Like
Oh,
he
yeah,
definitely
Spider-Man,
tries to not kill people,
Spider-Man's just out there to protect people,
See, Marvel superheroes have been killing people the whole time, but like they do their best not to. Is the point? They try not to, and Superman and Batman so far have not tried at all.
They don't care.
They don't care. It's just like let's turn all of Metropolis into like a graveyard.
Dude, I love how almost every podcast we just turn into bashing Suicide Squad and all the DC movies. Like every podcast, we can't get over how bad it is. It was a mistake to do that episode. Like all we're talking about is how bad Suicide Squad is.
That's the golden standard for how bad things can get.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's hard to find a movie that's more terrible.
Battlefield Earth.
I guess Battlefield Earth could be more terrible.
I think
I'm not gonna watch
I
that.
kind of remember it having a story that I could understand as a child, so I think that one wins.
That's probably probably.
But we won't know for sure, Isaiah, until we watch it. Just saying.
I mean, you've already seen it before, right?
When I was a kid, Pandora's box, Battlefield Earth box.
You should just watch it again.
You need to watch it again. We gotta make sure, you know, we have a craft here. It's a science. We can't just randomly assign a Suicide Squad rating to a movie without watching it. There's a.
So you watch it.
No, it needs to be all three of us. The Pointy Headcast has 3 members. Each of the points combined.
I don't even know where I would find that movie anymore. I don't think it's available anywhere.
I'll look for it.
Even on the pirate web. I don't know if anybody cares enough to share.
To DVD release. Yeah, Blockbuster that no longer exists.
Wait, I don't remember if I bought it on VHS or maybe I rented it.
If you have
on
a copy,
VHS?
Sam, I'll be amazed.
If you have a copy of this movie that exists physically, I will mail it to me and I'll watch it. I'll buy a VHS player for it, just to watch it on shitty ass VHS.
I'm gonna have to look up my VHS tabs, but I don't think I have it. Shoot, you're right. I looked it up on the streaming movie sites. They don't. Oh wait, they have it. They have it.
Oh, that's so sad.
They have it.
That's so sad.
It's in 1080p too. It's not even 720.
Wow,
it's
my
1080.
Wi-Fi is disconnecting, guys.
Oh, my connection's breaking out. I can't seem to hear you guys.
Oh no! Can you guys hear me? Can you guys? I feel like I'm breaking up.
Yeah, I feel like I'm breaking up.
No. Okay, we'll just table that for now. After Age of Tomorrow, it'll be untabled.
So Edge of Tomorrow next week, right, guys?
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow, and then Battlefield Earth. We gotta keep up the theme, you know, sci-fi, Earth, battles, fields.
Actually, Edge of Tomorrow, I'm so down.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We gotta spread the
Sounds
awareness of this movie.
I should go reread the manga too.
I didn't know there was a manga until you mentioned it a while ago.
All you need is kill, Sam.
All you need is kill.
All you need is kill. All right.
Kill, right?
Kill is different. Oh, we got someone in chat.
Kill is definitely not the same thing. Oh boy.
We got Paraquia saying conchudo. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so
apparently it means idiot.
Thoughts. Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Fair enough. I guess we should do some closing thoughts on the Matrix.
Good call. I guess I'll just go first because I rant too much. I think the movie is fantastic. I rarely rewatch movies because I don't like doing that. But this one, when I did it, it didn't feel like a chore. And every time I saw a scene, I noticed something more about it. Like I picked up on things I totally glossed over. Some things are not possible unless you watch it a second time because there's a lot of foreshadowing and a lot of referencing back and forth between things that happen in the movie and themes they put out. It's well constructed from the beginning to end. I feel like there are very few wasted scenes. I feel like each scene had a purpose that fit with the movie. Like, you know, there's exposition dumps, but I enjoyed those. It's not like, again, Suicide Squad, where it's just wasting my time and treating me like an idiot. It was done tastefully. Everything was believable. The world followed its own rules as much as possible, and where the rules were inconvenient, they just glossed over it. They didn't mention it. They're smart about everything. A lot of care and attention in each of these scenes. Detail, the color editing was awesome. I gotta watch it more to pick up on stuff that Barry mentioned. Mentioning of food, I didn't even notice that until now. Pretty well done. Yeah, like the Oracle scene just brings up memories of, like, you know, their grandma or mom.
I apologize in advance for mentioning this because you're always gonna notice it now in movies.
Okay, what is it?
Every time
food. Yeah.
Every time there's food, you're gonna think back to this.
I'm gonna think like they're trying to be lazy here. They're trying to hide something, or like they couldn't figure it out, so just throw some food in it. Hey, I'm being serious. So let's film that parody scene where the interrogation scene where Agent Smith is just eating chips and that's other guys are drinking soda, and then it goes into a dinner scene. I'm just saying, I think that's too good to waste. Alright, let's do it. But anyways, a lot of care and love. I like the fight scenes, like Isaiah said. They're not grounded in reality, but it looks great. It looks fantastic. Everything in the movie looks fantastic. Even the cheesy sunglasses and trench coats still look fantastic. Carrie-Anne Moss is a cutie. I didn't think so until now. Keanu's a cutie too, dude. Young Keanu, man. Looked
pretty good looking guy.
Pretty good looking guy. Keanu now still looks pretty good. I can't get over how tall he is though. Like I never noticed until now. He's freakishly tall. But yeah,
he's an absolute unit.
He is. Everything about the movie flows. Like it flows together. Like even the scenes were just talking, it flows smoothly. I remembered most of the lines of dialogue. I remembered most of the scenes. It just sticks out in your mind. It left an impression on me. It's one of the few movies that really like touched me. The others being like Event Horizon, and more recently like Shawshank Redemption. That level. So I know I was being sarcastic, but like probably better than Citizen Kane for me.
Definitely.
Like also like Barry mentioned, it touched cinema in a way that no other movie has recently. I feel like it left its footprint in the movie making biz. But yeah, handing it off to you guys.
Guess I'll go. Yeah, I agree with a lot of those sentiments. Like, definitely, this is my 4th rewatch, I think, of The Matrix.
Okay.
So it was a pretty good film, but I was surprised by how much I didn't enjoy the actions. Not the action, the martial arts fight choreography as much this time around. Yeah, I feel like it was very like Hong Kong-esque in terms of how they choreographed and shot the fight scenes, but a lot of the editing doesn't feel in line with that Hong Kong style of impacts. So I think that it had potential to be better. But for the time, I think that was pretty crazy. And a lot of the camera work and like the introduction of bullet time, I think is a huge beneficial thing that we see a lot more now replicated in action movies and just cinema in general. So it is a little bit like a Citizen Kane in that sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, story-wise, absolutely. I'd say 8.5 Suicide Squads.
Okay.
It's so much better. Like the story's cohesive. A lot of it is very logical, and things flow well in terms of time. And then things are introduced to us pretty simply. Like, oh, he comes out of the pod and then he gets saved. And then he needs to recover because his muscles. It's like, oh, these are all very logical steps and progressions of the story itself. And it's a pretty long movie, like 2 hours, 15 minutes.
I didn't know it was that long, yeah.
But it keeps you engaged like the entire way through. There's not that many action set pieces, but somehow they manage to always keep a sense of tension and keep you engaged throughout the entire story and bringing you along for the ride. So, yeah, I think the movie, even though it came out in 1999, still very much holds up to this day. Yeah, so I liked it.
It's pretty good. I think this is one of the most influential movies of all time, you know. Like, as far as cinema goes, you could very easily say that like there's movies before The Matrix, and then the movies before then came movies after The Matrix. I think that's how important this movie was to cinema in general. Because everything after it was influenced to some degree, which is fairly incredible. And I can't think of a recent movie that's done that. Iron Man, but not for the same reasons. You know,
Jason Bourne. Shaky cam.
That introduced us to like just shaky cam though, and it wasn't really new. It was just like more done.
Yeah.
But like The Matrix did a lot for cinema as far as like the look and feel of the movie, the concepts introduced, the cinematography. Like the last movie before that, I don't know. Can you think of one? The last movie before that I can think of is probably Aliens, like the second film with James Cameron. As far as influence, yeah, it's actually insane.
It's literally Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
I don't know. Citizen Kane is widely regarded as one of the greats, but is it regarded as influential as far as cinema?
I think so. I think it introduced a lot of modern day editing or filming techniques that weren't really. I mean, back in the day, they were just experimenting, and you know, it was just like, oh, movies are just like shot like this, kind of like a film,
like theater.
Yeah, like theater. Yeah. But then they actually use cuts and stuff. I mean, in that sense, that's what I meant. Like, and I was like, oh, we can make movies like this. We didn't even think of the possibilities
of moving the camera.
Yeah, moving the camera, having different scenes
through objects,
cuts,
like moving through windows. It was like a revolutionary technology.
That's just what I meant,
like,
you know.
Technique from Citizen Kane.
I don't mean as big as the Matrix, but like more like just generally speaking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah, just generally, because nothing like that existed before. But once everyone started doing it, you know, it just like it's whatever. But just I'm talking about that standard time period. But yeah, I don't think it had the reach like the Matrix did, though. Definitely.
The influence.
Yeah, you're right. I can't think of a movie, like, not only because I don't have a lot of
Endgame.
I don't think it did anything special.
It showed us that you could bring together a cast of like 120 people.
Yeah,
oh, you're right.
I think it's a one.
That's why it's so important. Is because it shows us that movies with scale can be so popular. Because movies with huge cast before that was considered like 20 people, and that was insane. It was extremely difficult to film movies.
You're right. Okay.
I remember thinking
within like 10 actors.
I remember being really surprised that the Avengers 1 wasn't a huge fucking mess, and
you're right.
like Endgame comes out. It's like, hold my fucking beer, boys. Here we go.
Good point.
Here we fucking go.
You know, like Fantastic Four. Even 4 is too much for them.
Well, Fantastic Four, it was the original ensemble cast. Like, in comic books, they were the first comic book family. They set the stage for the Avengers, really.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's true.
It's unfortunate that they couldn't follow up with a fucking half-decent goddamn movie.
Should we watch Fantastic Four too on our list?
No.
It's gotta be better than Suicide Squad, right? I'm just saying because I haven't seen it. I'm just writing it on the list. Fantastic Four, all of them, all the Fantastic Fours.
Fan Four stick
with Michael B. Jordan.
Yes, as the Flame, Human Torch.
He plays the same character in the Fahrenheit 451 movie, where he's Guy.
Oh, Guy
Montag. Plays Guy Montag.
Yeah.
I watched it on the airplane, and I was like, "Wow, this is kind of a really shitty movie."
It looked really bad.
Because I really enjoyed Fahrenheit 451 as a book.
I think it was really prophetic for its time.
Yeah. But anyways, keep going, Barry.
I kind of lost my train of thought, but Matrix. Iconic. I don't know what more can be said about this movie that hasn't been already rehashed a million times, but I will leave it with, I'm gonna say 9 Suicide Squads.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh, 9 Suicide Squads.
9 Suicide Squads. Like, in spite of its flaws, it's just so damn good.
Yeah, it's an incredible movie.
Agree with you. It has flaws, but like, you don't care.
You just don't care.
Yeah.
It's so lovingly crafted. Like, all the set design, the costume design, like every shot is just like, they clearly cared. This is clearly a passion project for them, and it shows.
Yeah.
totally agree. All right, with that, we'll end here. Yeah, I like it when we go off tangent. Kind of keeps it more like just three friends talking to each other rather than like a professional podcast. We're the bad cast. We're not the good cast. I like to keep it that way because I think if we structure it too much to be like almost scripted and like to the point, like I mean, obviously the podcast would be better and like higher quality, but it would feel more like work than just talking to people, Okay, anyways,
True.
If you guys disagree, then we can change the format, obviously, but I'm all for anything.
No, we got to keep it under 15 minutes.
Under 15 minutes?
Under 15 minutes.
Alright, we're keeping it pretty close to 3 hours, you know that? We're not going over, I think, well, I forget which one, but it went past 420.
Yeah, we did. I don't remember which one it was, but it was like 5 hours.
We'll have to check. Anyways, we'll end there. We were talking about The Matrix. Awesome movie. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. It's still watchable, still holds up. Alright, again, our hosts were, we got Barry, we got Isaiah, and I am Sam. With that, we're going to sign off. Catch us next week around Sunday at 8 to 9-ish p.m., depending on when everyone's free. We're going to talk about Edge of Tomorrow, which is also a awesome movie. Alright, with that, we're going to sign off. See you guys later.
Thanks, guys. Stay pointy.
That's right, stay pointy.
Stay pointy, friend.
We got to rebrand everything. Alright. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. I have to do this. I gotta thank everyone, and then I'll end the stream. God, where are my manners? Alright, we got Spranks. I'll keep this short. Trying to Kill X, AracFat137, Oakface Gaming, Drawthmar, Whoop-de-doo. Thank you for the host. Much appreciated. Then we got ha 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 ha. That's 10 ha's. Whoop-de-doo, Mr. MFM. It was his birthday yesterday, I believe. Parakia, thank you for dropping by in chat. Appreciate it. And then we have Mr. MFM dropping a lot of bits. We're rich boys. Alright, with that, we're signing off. Okay. Till next time. Let's go wait for the stay pointy, friends.
Stay pointy, friends.
There we go. Alright.
Stay pointy.